pick up a couple of heads a night. Somebody give me a guillotine. I just might ride on my enemies. Thought can I fuck on my energy? Nowadays they just talk, but they talk about nothing. Nowadays everybody wanna say something. Goddamn, I'm the man and it feel like it. Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm trying to get paid.
I was going, what is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd without fear. Got the homies, Robo and Cypher. Welcome to episode 29.
Nueve. Because I speak Spanish and shit.
Motherfucker. He's like, see, that was Spanish.
I was about to say, like, he's not saying see, he's agreeing.
Yeah, see, right. No,
if you're not bilingual, you're not gonna catch it. I'm sorry, guys.
Man, look, I debated how I wanted to open this. I debated how I wanted to open up this episode because a lot of craziness has transpired in the last week. And I will be brutally honest with y'all. And when I say brutally honest, I mean my brutal honesty applies to both you, the audience, as well as my co-host on the show. I don't really know how to navigate these waters because I've always felt weird about being too, what's the word?
No.
Exploitative?
Yes. I don't, I actually kind of, you know what? I actually kind of plan to talk about this Saturday just because I
definitely feel where you're going. I know where you're going.
Well, it's something Robo and I have actually talked about this kind of like off to the side, but I have seen a lot of people. I say a lot of people, it's only like a handful of people, but it's a lot for the community that we have, like in this space. And like, there's been some people that I'm like, ooh, I don't know, man, that feels kind of gross. And then there's others I'm like,
First and foremost, real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's prioritize this right, because I know where you're getting at. I know what your actual feelings are.
Yeah,
because me and you talk. Before we get into that, let's just say, rest in peace.
Yes,
to the comic historian, and nothing but love and peace to his surviving family members. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. And you could feel however you want about it. If you've interacted with him, I can only speak for myself. For me, even if I don't know somebody, I'm not going to pretend he was my friend. He came on the show when we did I Freaking Love Comics, and Comic Historian came on and we talked to him. And just the simple fact that he is somebody that I have interacted with in real life and then poof, gone, is jarring. It reminds you of your mortality and all that. And I remember I hit you up and you said the same thing. It's like, puts you in your seat, you know? And it's just weird because we're all about the same age. We all have similar, he was goals. I'm not saying that we're on his level, but he's definitely where we're trying to get to, and a colleague for sure. You know, and I remember it put you in your seat, it put me in my seat, and I think it's totally normal. I think it's normal to not really care because he is a YouTuber, and you don't have to be parasocial about it.
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, that sucks. That's sad." And I think it's also normal to be kind of a little bit deeper. Now, with that said, what you're talking about, what you're into, that shit. I think I track where you're going. I'll let you continue. I agree with you 100%. 100%.
It's the like, I there are people who I think are well within their right. Like, if I saw a video from, which I did, if I saw a video from Rob, totally well within his right to do so. That's his homie. Sal, that's his homie. Comic Drake, that's his home. Like people who like are close to him, I'm like, you know what? That's your homie. Go off.
That's
but
right.
like I have actually seen people who have little to no connection to him doing it, and I'm just kind of like
dropping videos, going live within 24 hours. Just you see it. There's like it's a very You know what? We can't read minds.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So maybe I'm just gonna say maybe for some of these people there's some sincerity in it. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what's hot. Let's jump on this.
Mm.
But you know what? Regardless of intentions, some shit is a bad fucking look.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm coming at from it. Like, and once again, I'm not trying to tell people what to do with their free time. I think I put a little thing in front of a video today, and I felt weird doing even that. And I say that as a guy who has talked to Benny. I can count on one hand how many times I've talked to Benny in the time that I've been doing what I do. And it was never personal. It was never like, oh, hey, I met him out and about somewhere. Or like, hey, we called each other. We didn't talk on the phone for hours on end. It was like social media interactions that meant, at the time, I thought that it was cool because I was like, wow, dude, that's so cool. I'm actually talking to a guy who is, kind of a triple OG in my space.
That's it.
But beyond that, like kind of looking at the totality of it though, like compared to like what he meant to people like Rob, Sal, and so on and so forth, dude, that's just fucking dropping the bucket. It don't mean shit. Like I'm not gonna sit like that's kind of my thing. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like me and Benny were like the tightest of bros or anything like that. I'm not gonna sit here and try to make up some BS story like kind of like how we see what happens when like celebrities die and all of a sudden like celebrities that are like has-beens come out of the woodwork pretending that they had some close relationship with a person and now no one can challenge it because the person's gone. Like I'm not gonna pull any bullshit like that. And I've actually said that like I think I can't remember if I commented on Rob's video. It honestly depressed the fuck out of me so much I almost couldn't finish it. Because
was sad as fuck. Yeah.
It was sad. It was fucking sad. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh man, no, like it was like in a bad. Like it was just it broke my fucking heart.
100%.
Because 100%. I knew what Rob was going. Like not because once again not because me and Benny were friends, but because I lost my best friend years ago, and I know what that feels like. And so every time Rob said something, I knew exactly what he meant. I knew exactly what he was going through. And it hurt me that someone else was feeling what he was feeling. And what I have felt. So like, that's kind of why I have been like outside of like a tweet and that one little video, I've been all quiet on the Western Front about Benny, not because I didn't like him, but because I just thought it was disrespectful for me to make a big deal out of it. So that said, if it comes up again, it'll probably be Saturday because I'm sure Carter's going to want to say his piece. But just, I want to make it clear. I don't want anyone to think that like I'm ducking and dodging the subject. It's really more respect on my part. I wish I knew Benny. I wish I could say I knew Benny as well as everyone else did. But the reality is, I just honestly never thought to get to know him because I just didn't think that he really gave a fuck about me. But come to find out, I have learned in recent weeks or recent days, not weeks, but days, that was actually kind of the opposite. So it makes the only thing I have to be sad about is that I never got to know him.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where I'm at.
So when, if it says anything about his character, right? If it says anything about his character, when I bring up I freaking love comics and I say something like along the lines of, I used to have an I freaking love comics and a YouTube with Judah and Ree, like, don't get it twisted. When I say that, I'm not talking about like, don't think like Blerd Without Fear. We never even broke a 1,000. I think we got maybe 500 or something, or whatever it was. We would post videos and we'd get happy when it broke 200 views. Yay, right? That's the kind of channel I Freaking Love Comics was on. And we reached out to Comic Storian and said, hey, you want to come on our show? And this dude, and listen, if y'all have never been into content creation before, dudes who are big, people who are big, they can be very, you're not using me to blow, you know what I mean?
Be dismissive.
Immediately. Yeah, sure. This dude had however many followers he had. Here's his comic book channel with like 400 subs. Says, hey, would you like to come on a 1 hour stream? And Benny's like, yup.
Bet.
Didn't even know us. You know what I mean? So that speaks to his character for sure. But I will say, like Mark Boyd said in the chat, grief is one thing, doing it for clicks is disgusting.
Yes.
And if you didn't know him and you have anything more to say than that this soon, you probably, I think it's safe to assume why the fuck you doing it and you're fucking gross.
Yeah, no, I refuse. I refuse. I'm not trying to like be like, oh, I'm just such a virtuous fucking person. It's just that I would like. I think what was it? Recently, probably in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, I did Comics for the Cure with Comic Drake and Comic Pop and a bunch of other people in the YouTube content creator space for comics, and I was kind of looking over some stuff people were talking about, because as you'd imagine, a lot of people were in that space who knew Benny, and I kind of felt like the odd man out. And I even said there, I was like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help out a cause. Like if we want to raise money, in honor of him or whatever. I just said that I don't want to be the person to suggest it, because it's not my place to do so. Right. And that's pretty much that on that. But that said, you know what? I don't want to, I don't want to, make it a, I don't want to do the very same thing that I am accusing some others of. So we are going to move it on. But I did want to just say those
702. Gay Rights 702. Subscribe 5 months in a row to the Blerd Club over on the Twitch side.
Love to see it.
No, take it.
I love to see it.
That's what's up.
That's what that's the business right there. I love to see it. And you know what? I definitely want to say shout out to everybody out there in the world, wherever you are, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, whether it's on Spotify or Google, or does Amazon still do a podcast? So I don't remember. Wherever you listen to podcasts or whatever, wherever you listen, I appreciate it, because I know we have like a growing following out there as well. But you know what? You know what is I want to bring the. Oh, wait a minute. We got Maneater out here. What's up?
Got a celebrity in the chat.
Man, right? Like out here, like I'm
hanging out with us peasants.
I'm small potatoes.
Now I'm nervous.
Look, I am small potatoes here. Okay, I'm nobody. So look, just but no. And all bullshit aside, I do want to say that thank you everyone for being so supportive. And I don't think I got to say this the last time that we were live. It actually happened then, but I didn't really get to talk about it. Thank you for all of your support in helping us reach 97,000. We're actually edging that much closer to that fabled 100K. I can literally smell the silver play button as we speak.
You gotta lick it on stream when you get it.
I mean, I might. I like, honestly, I don't know. I say a lot of, I talk a lot of shit. I'll probably cry when I get it, because honestly, it was never really something I thought I would get.
That's dope. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's. I never like, this all started out as a hobby, like just something to do so that I wouldn't lose my mind. Some of you, I know there's some of you who have been here like since like 5 ever, and you probably already, you guys know this, but some of you who are newer, this channel literally started because I had been going through a lot. The aforementioned best friend that I lost, that was still fresh in my head. My father had still not too long had passed, and I had lost other friends due to drama and high school levels of bullshit, and I got kicked out of a band. So I needed a creative outlet. I had lost a lot of things, and it kind of all led me here. It was really just a thing I was going to do as a creative outlet, and it has become something bigger than that. So y'all are to thank for that, and I'm appreciative, forever appreciative.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hit him with the stats.
Yeah,
I do what I can.
He's like, look. You can keep the party going. He's like, you can keep the party going. Don't you worry about it. He's like, I got you. He's like, I got you.
Whichever way that I need the joke to go, either this is our channel or I'm the viewer that helped you get to 100,000. I'll play both sides. That's whatever.
I mean,
no, those.
But no,
the Jack Life out here. First time chat. Wait a minute. Hold on. How does this work? Hold on. Time out. How is the Jack Life 3-month subscriber? First time chatter.
He's a lurker.
Dude,
that's the dedicated lurker. I like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude, I like it. I'll take it either way.
Yeah, for real.
Matter of fact, speaking of, because we actually can show these things. Like I don't know if y'all can see. Like I actually now have the ability to do the thing. Yeah, we can actually share these things now. I can actually show that these things. These exist. These aren't just in a vacuum. They're real. They're real now. These things are real. You think they're lies. They're not lies. But that said,
friend.
Yeah. No, I got peoples. I'm not lonely. I'm not lonely. You're lonely. Projection. Yeah, it's a thing. But I do want to say shout out to, before we actually get started, I want to give a shout out to my lovely wife, who if you follow me on Twitter, you probably already know this. But my wife recently took the plunge with me, and I finally got her, somehow against all odds, into Super Sentai. So
okay.
I'm
no. I was
like, ooh,
no. She's gonna start streaming. What's going on?
Oh God, no.
There's a culture after dark.
I mean,
soon.
I don't know about all that. That's not the. I don't know. I don't know what content that is, but I don't. But no.
Like, all right, go ahead. I'll leave that joke alone. Done. Bit's done.
Hold on. I'm gonna keep it PG. It's just us with black robes, sleeping robes, and just dimmer lights. That's it.
That's all it is.
With those Phantom of the Opera masks on.
Oh my God, no, we're not.
Why don't I have that mask?
Go
ahead.
I have no idea, but what I will say is, after years of trying, I make it sound like we're trying to have a baby or some shit. But no,
You said take the plunge. I'm like, I thought you guys were already married. What's going on?
Yeah. Oh no, we are good and married. Like if we weren't married by now, we are at the very least common law married.
But so he's trying to say he's trying to get married under the eyes of the one true God.
Right.
No. We're good. We're good there. We're good. Cthulhu. That's exactly who it is. For the longest time though, like, it was one of those things like, Tokusatsu is one of my, some of you have been with us a long time, that Tokusatsu is actually one of my favorite hobbies. It's probably one of the few hobbies I have that is as big, or at least close to as being as big, if not bigger, than my love for comics.
Or Yakuza.
I mean, it's a thing. But it's something that I have always kind of shared with my family, but it's one of those things that, like, whenever I would put it on, like, usually I watch it either in the living room by myself or back here in the cave, or if I do watch it out in the living room amongst family, it's something that I'm watching and I'm the only one who's paying attention to it. Everybody else is on their phone or knitting, crocheting, reading a book, or whatever.
You have a very productive family.
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I do
Like,
actually. It's kind of
all those are just productive, time-consuming hobbies here. I'm like, oh,
Oh wow!
yeah, I mean, it's kind of.
I just looked up Bible Black.
Oh God, no! Don't. Why would you do that?
It said Nerds of Culture. So Nerds of Culture After Dark would just be talks of things like Bible Black, Outlaw KK. I was like, Bible Black, what's that? Oh,
Oh,
all right.
Yeah. I saw Bible Black like some years ago, and I have never
Been the same?
returned. That either.
I'm looking at that now. Let's see what's
Don't do it, Chris. You don't want to do that to yourself. Don't do it. Don't. No. This is.
Let's see.
No.
I see stepsister, living cousins, siblings. What's going on here? What is this about?
No. I'm gonna keep. You know what? I'm gonna take us.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take us back. I'm gonna take us back from that. No. It usually was something I just watched on the couch, and everyone else was doing their own thing. And then the other day, I had just finished watching a season of Kamen Rider, and usually the way I do my viewership is I usually try and watch, like, so let's say if I'm watching a Kamen Rider series and I finish it, I try to jump over to the Super Sentai season that was going on about around the same time, because they usually kind of coincide with each other. And I had finished, I believe it was, well, these actually don't coincide as much because I think they're about a year apart. But I finished Kamen Rider Revice and jumped off of that, and I was like, well, let's watch a Super Sentai season. I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to watch Osama Sentai King Oger. Which is, for those that do not know, it is this season. It is a lot of themes. It's bug themed. It is, if you couldn't tell by the mask, it is also heavily on a green screen. It is also, and when I say heavily, I mean like
place.
No. A lot. Well, what I mean by that is like a lot of the scenes in King Oger are on a green screen. Like they're almost all green screen shots. And even the ones that aren't, they add some shit. But it's also, it's kind of funny. It has Game of Thrones elements as well as like some Attack on Titan shit.
So
Jamal Carter says it's different. I've seen clips.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
You always know when something's not for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
it's different.
And they're like, oh yeah, it's
different. It's different.
It's something. It's something. Yeah.
Well,
I found that out because of you. Like every time I used to recommend you, especially when it comes down to the 2D games or the bullet hell. So hey, you should try this. Like, yeah, I want YouTube. It's different. And I'm like, oh, different good. It's like
it's a game. Yeah.
No, sorry. No, none of the characters, none of the principal characters are CG. They're all like suit actors. It's the backgrounds and some of the environments. Sometimes the Zords, sometimes they are CG, sometimes they're not. But the long and short of it is, basically, we started watching it, and for whatever reason, it was so weird and wacky and zany, and so, like, my wife's only real knowledge of Super Sentai is Power Rangers, if that tells you anything. She knows Power Rangers. She does not know Super Sentai very well. So the tropes and things that were going on in it were so night and day different from what she kind of was suspecting it would be like. Because she just kind of assumed that, oh, well, it's just the same. It's the same exact thing as Power Rangers. It's probably some kids in high school or whatever. And, played by actors who are clearly in their 30s, so on and so forth. And it was like, no. It's like,
did you get offended when she said that?
No, because I mean, it was true. There have been a couple of seasons of Super Sentai where that is kind of the case. Kamen Rider too, for that matter. But it was just funny because the main character, the Red Ranger, is not like, usually the Red Ranger in like Power Rangers is always like some like really cool dude who's like the leader. He's he's a good guy, like, and all that entails. And the guy who's the Red Ranger here is kind of a shit ass. And has dreams of being the villain, but because he wants to be the villain to the quotey fingers hero of the story. And not everybody is friends, at least not right away. So yeah. But yeah, it is it's kind of like how I always tell people, if you ever watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as a kid or an adult, whatever suits you, and you think about Rita Repulsa. Rita Repulsa in Power Rangers is a very different villain from what she is in
the comics.
Or in the original Super Sentai series. She was a Satanist. She was a Satanist, and her name was not Rita. It was Bandora. She was an evil Satanist woman who sacrificed children and unalived a lot of people on the show.
They went kind of hard on her with the in the comics, though, right? They kind of tried to bring it back to that.
They did. The comics, they kind of tried to. They kind of tried to.
Yeah.
Not like 1-to-1, but she is far and away from being a joke character in the Boom Studio stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, the Power Ranger comics actually go hard as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, they do. They definitely do. They definitely
actually do. Like, kind of makes me mad that we don't have like a more adult adaptation of the original, at least anime wise, the Mighty Morphin.
Mm.
That shit slaps. Or not anime, but animated like in the same vein of as Invincible. Because they're
trying.
The Queen.
They are. I mean, they were trying. They well, here's the problem that you run into, and I guess this kind of leads us to this. I didn't plan on talking about this, but it's a thing that it came up tangentially, so here we are.
Welcome to immersive culture.
Welcome to the show, y'all. But so right now, Hasbro owns the rights to Power Rangers and all that entails. And right now, Hasbro is hemorrhaging money. And when I say hemorrhaging money, I mean like someone cut their neck and they are just walking through the street, just like, and the blood is just pouring out. They can't stop it. They're gonna die. It's gonna die, but it's taking a long time. But they've been trying to, like, if some of you may have noticed, like, Hasbro, they're trying to make G.I. Joe and Transformers a thing again. They're trying to make Power Rangers a thing again. But the problem with Power Rangers is that the deal that allows Power Rangers to exist is no longer really in place. Toei, the company that actually makes Super Sentai, they no longer have an agreement with them. So pretty much everything you see Power Rangers related, there's a reason why a lot of it has been going back to the original stuff, because they do still have the rights to that. But as far as like Super Sentai stuff goes, you're not going to see any new seasons of Power Rangers that are based on anything from like Super Sentai anymore. Like those days are done, as far as I'm aware. So yes, that is also why Magic the Gathering is okay. So here's the thing. Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, because technically, if I'm not mistaken, Hasbro is over Wizards of the Coast, which is also, that encompasses Magic the Gathering as well. That, like, pretty much all your favorite things in some way, shape, form, or fashion are probably in danger right now.
Damn.
But some of you may have heard the news that Netflix passed on a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reboot, and now it's being shopped elsewhere. That's a thing. And it sucks because the whole deal is kind of bad. So yeah, it is all bad.
Happened with a couple other properties. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're being extended and stuff like that. That even Netflix have been passing up. I think it was Power Rangers was one of them. There was another. Was it Gargoyles that they passed up an opportunity on? But I think that was live action. It was
Well, that ended up going to that ended up just going into Disney's pockets at the end of that. Now Disney's doing that.
okay. Yeah, but I know I read a couple of things that I was like, damn, that would have been cool, but they just like just show no promise, and people are just not picking it up.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
it's a sad state of affairs. But I was very proud. The reason why I'm making a big deal out of this is largely because my wife doesn't do good with subtitles. I think I talked about this before when I took her to go see Godzilla -1 in theaters. One of my concerns was that she wouldn't be able to follow it. Not because it's so complex, but because she just struggles with subtitles. Like she's technically dyslexic, so reading subtitles, especially with how fast they can sometimes come and go.
You said she's ADHD too, right?
ADHD as well, and so like
that's my problem with it.
Yeah,
I need to look at my phone, and if I start looking around, I'm like, fuck, I forgot I don't speak Japanese. I gotta rewind it.
Well, I also had to teach her a trick. I had to teach her my trick with subtitles. Something I learned a long time ago was that I don't read the whole thing. Like, I mean, I do when it's not a long sentence, but when it's like a lot of stuff on the screen, I read the part that I feel is the most important, and usually the rest of it I can figure out for myself. And that kind of helped her out a great deal. But I've come to find that if the movie or TV show we're watching is very engaging, she usually is a lot better about being able to, like, because she'll force herself to try. Like,
she's catching up.
Right. Like we were watching Godzilla -1. She was even kind of impressed with herself because she was like, she actually paid attention the whole time. Like it was granted, she was a captive audience. We were in the theater, so it wasn't like it was gonna be like a situation where she could crochet or play on her phone, but like still it was one of those things where like she actually made a conscious effort to pay attention because she was really enjoying the movie. And when we were watching King Oger, the thing that kind of made me happy was that like I was like, wow, I was like, she actually stayed up to watch several episodes of this shit because she was so invested in the plot of it. And I was like, and bear in mind, they don't make dubs for Super Sentai or Kamen Rider. They don't. That was actually something she kind of was sad about. She was like, I really wish they dubbed, stuff like this, like the way they do anime, because like it would be so much easier for her to like, because she was like, I really like the characters. I like the story. I like what's going on. But like, she's like, I wish I could, like she felt like she was missing parts of it. So sometimes she would ask me questions. I would explain like, in greater detail what was going on.
Quick question. Quick, if you answered this already, I apologize.
Speak closer into your mic.
For Kamen Rider.
Yes, there you go. You kept cutting out.
Gotcha. God damn it. Oh, lost my train of thought.
With Kamen Rider.
That's what it is. Is the theme kind of like Power Rangers? Like, whoa, is it like really kiddie, like kid friendly, or is it more adult, more, I guess, young adult as they will call it?
Kamen Rider is more young adult. Super Sentai tends to skew more kid friendly. It's not to say that Kamen Rider isn't kid friendly, but you will probably find themes you might associate more with a young adult story as opposed to like a kid story.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it can vary from season to season as well. Like it just depends on what's going on at the time. But yeah, that is like that. I always tell people like, depending on what your taste are, whatever your taste are in terms of entertainment, I always say everyone's mileage is going to vary. I say like if you don't mind more kid friendly themes, and to be fair, when I say kid friendly, I mean it in like the barest minimum sense, because people get clapped on these shows. Like I always like to remind people that the Green Ranger in the original Super Sentai series that is what is used to make Power Rangers, the Green Ranger didn't disappear off the show because his powers went away because of a green candle. That motherfucker died.
Gotcha.
Did he get resurrected as the White Ranger though?
No. That's the best one.
Something. I'll tell you something. The White Ranger coming on TV is probably I've never in my life been so happy, and I've seen the birth of 2 of my children. I've never. I'm pretty sure I cried. Can anybody relate when that White Ranger came back and he took off his thing and it was Tommy? Oh my god!
Okay,
my fucking god!
I actually can relate, but not for that series. For the next series over with Zeo, when Jason came back as the Gold Ranger, I got emotional. I was like, oh shit, my boy's back to gold. Even though it was the wackest of the series, but yeah.
Well, so it's funny. So here's the thing that's funny about that, because I saw somebody else bring it up in the chat. So the White Ranger, so you know how they use Super Sentai footage? The White Ranger of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was from a completely different season of Super Sentai. Which is why he didn't get to hang around very long. As
Jamal Carter says that he was a kid too. He was a child.
Yeah, he was a kid. Yep, he was a kid. As a matter of fact, go back and watch those old episodes. If you see some moments where Tommy looks a little too excited that he like defeated the bad guy, like he's jumping up and down and doing like hip hip hooray type shit, it's because that was a kid. It was a kid who would turn into
smart enough to just like, hey, don't do that because you're an adult.
There's a same show that said that Tommy was a Native American. So
there's that too. There's that.
What was he supposed to be?
Huh?
What was he supposed to be?
No, he's like, I mean, the dude is white as Casper, but but in the show's canon, he was Native American.
Oh, you
like
say, okay.
Like he had a whole episode of Self-Discovery where he linked up with, I think it was his brother, which was super racist.
It was they were doing some time travel shit at one point, and it was
Spirit Walk.
So the show had some problems. Zach's hairline, the Black Ranger, his hairline was a crime against humanity.
That little tiny square thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Trinity was the Yellow Ranger. The Asian woman,
the Black Ranger is black. The Yellow Ranger is Asian, and it was.
I actually saw a TikTok where he was like, he says, "Oh, you think the Power Rangers weren't racist?" And he went off. And let me tell you something. This dude is like a super fan.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. You've seen the one?
Black dude? The black dude?
Yeah. Black dude. And he went in. He's like, oh, nobody loves Power Rangers more than me. And he knew every song, every character. He's been watching every single one of them from the OG one to now. And he goes, but y'all trying to tell me? And then he went in on all the ones. He's like, then to finally get a black leader, and he's a criminal. And this girl, there's a whole series, there's a whole plot of her being poor and can't afford to eat. And I was like,
so we finally got a black leader. What happens to Angel Grove? It gets destroyed. Then he gets demoted to Blue Ranger.
Yep.
Which it's funny you say that too, because like by American standards, a demotion from red to blue seems like the worst thing ever. But the funny thing about Super Sentai is the Blue Ranger is usually like before you get to like the 6th Ranger that usually inevitably shows up and is typically always the coolest Ranger. The Blue Ranger's usually the badass, which is what I always thought was so funny. Like in Super Sentai, the Blue Ranger is usually the do dirt motherfucker.
They try to imitate that in SPD, right? Where the Blue Ranger was more of a rebel, but he still fucked it up because he aspired to be the Red Ranger, and then like the main character, the black dude, was the Red Ranger, but he was like the very by the line because there were cops, space cops. He was by the book.
SPD was propaganda of the highest order, but like
the highest order.
It is.
So
but
that's
I'm not
grooming right there. That's grooming. That's what that was.
I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love that season.
Bro, it was so propaganda.
Well, no, it's only because they had shotguns. Like, normally the Power Rangers, they got like pistols and shit, but like, the season that they actually adapted was Deca Ranger. Deca Ranger was more of a police procedural in Super Sentai form. There was always like something they were dealing with. It was almost like watching Law and Order, but like with Power Rangers. But they were like space cops in that shit. But like The fact that they would have like the bullet. Oh yeah, but they would have like the bulletproof vest. Why? I have no idea. They have like little tack vest, and then they would have like the like it was. They were basically pump action fucking shotguns, like riot shotguns. And for whatever, I don't know, it was for some reason that should just seem so fucking baller to me. But yeah,
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Because the Red Ranger always gets like a power up, where he gets like another layer of armor, right?
Well, sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
Didn't the Red Ranger this one got a riot shield?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he got a riot shield.
Dude, I just saw your comment.
Was that
no? I don't capitalize the W in White Ranger.
No, we do. No, we do not. No, we do not. No, we do not. What was it? SPD. See, wait a minute. See, Jasmine gets me. Jasmine gets me. SPD, like, I'm not gonna lie, SPD was kind of lit, not gonna lie. Though I will say, going back to what you were saying earlier about the when they were going back in time, there was one episode I just couldn't jive with because they went back into like a time where clearly there were slaves, and Aisha was just kind of standing around like there was no issue whatsoever, and I was like, this is officially
all the powers didn't do shit about slavery,
right? I was like,
but they also give it like the dashiki thing. That was like clearly made by white people, but it was so bad.
Oh my god! Well, no, I remember. It wasn't Aisha that was it wasn't the actress Karen Ashley who was talking about this. I'm forgetting her name though. The woman who played Tanya. I remember watching a video she did once where she talked about like how terrible the hairdressing situation was on that show. And I think actually, no, I take that back. I think Karen Ashley talked about it too. But yeah, it was still weird. I was like, damn. That's why their hair always looks so like dry and shit on the show.
Well, they say for Mighty Morphin, the working conditions were absolutely atrocious.
Oh yeah, no, people were. Look, man. That's a whole.
Was a different time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, if you go back to what was it? I still remember the young lady who was on VR Troopers. She was talking about how, like, I think she said she was like SA'd in regards to VR Troopers. So, but yeah, the funny thing about Mighty Morphin is that it was really a thing where they just took a bunch of different shows, because Super Sentai, there's no continuity between each season. Each season is its own thing. So when those motherfuckers showed up with the Ninja Megazords, that was from a whole ass other show. When they showed up with
that's why you emphasize that the White Ranger came out a different season. Because when you say different season, you might as well be saying whole different show.
Oh, yeah. It was, that was Die Ranger, which came, I think, almost immediately after. But like Die Ranger was never adapted for us. The only thing that Power Rangers took from Die Ranger was the White Ranger and those like, and that Red Dragon Zord, the Unicorn, Griffin, all that shit. That came from that. And the Ninja Zords came from Kaku Ranger. And then the Zeo was the first time when they actually just said, fuck it, let's just adapt another show.
Another show, yeah. By the way, the ninja phase that they went through, they did not put any thought into Tommy's white ninja suit. That was clan rep at its highest.
Well, so you want to hear something funny? So that ninja suit actually belonged to the female ranger that was on that group.
Really?
Yeah. So in Kaku Ranger, the White Ranger is a woman. So yeah, it's weird. It's because, man, Power Rangers is such a weird thing. Like, it's a thing that can only exist when it did. But like, Kaku Ranger was also the comedy. It was a comedy, not really I mean, it was serious, but it was mostly played for laughs, even by Japanese standards. Like, they even had a narrator who would come in and narrate the show and try and make jokes and shit. Best theme song ever, though. Mm-hmm. Also, the Zords were sentient. That's the thing that's kind of different about Power Rangers and Super Sentai. The machines, the mechs, they can talk. Most of the time. They usually have their own like wants and desires and feelings and shit. But you know what? You know what doesn't have their own wants, desires, and feelings? Is people who don't have media literacy. They don't have feelings. They don't get to have feelings. It doesn't exist.
They're not real people. They're not serious people. They're barely people at all.
Yeah, no, barely. It's terrible. I hate it for them. But no,
Jack Life said me. I'm like, wait, wouldn't it? You don't?
he's like, wait a minute, what? That old Battle Fever. Battle Fever J. That is a. Have I ever showed y'all Battle Fever J? I don't know if I ever.
No more chats about Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Ernie doesn't want to move on. This is his love.
I do, but at the same time, it's funny to me
But
because
you don't.
I do, and I don't.
You know what it's like? You know what it's like? It's like whenever I'm arguing with somebody on Left Face, and you're like, "Move on." I'm like, yeah, but I like this.
It's like this is my.
I'm gonna argue with this motherfucker for 6 hours.
It's like, look, and I'll be sitting there like,
let's go.
That's
Wars music.
No lie, I legit did actually look that shit up once to see if I could find it, but like, yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't get it without the I couldn't get it without the what do you call it? There was like some talking in it. I need to like go in and see if I can isolate it. But yeah, for those that don't know, this is Battle Fever. I
do want to move on. I just hope one more thing.
He's like, wait a minute. He's like, wait a minute.
See, this is something I watch.
I'm actually surprised that you're surprised that he did that.
Well, it's funny because on the left is Miss America.
Nice.
Despite
what is the Black Ranger doing?
I thought he was looking a selfie.
I think. Oh man, I don't remember what. So okay, these are all supposed to be representative of different nations.
If you tell me the black dude is the Black Ranger is representing a certain
look, the hands are sus, and I don't like where this is going. The black one comes out, everybody has their thing, and the black one says, yo, like that, something like that.
Hey, it was recently, look, let me tell you something. It was recently brought to my attention.
Thank you for Zordon to get me out the hood. You know
right. Wait a minute. After watching the second episode of The Boys, I'm sitting here like, oh man, it's like that A training or training A train thing.
I didn't see it.
No. It's not a spoiler, but it's a funny thing that just is.
Actually, don't tell him because his reaction is gonna be money.
Oh no, 100%. 100%.
Like if you can record your reaction at the beginning of episode 2, do us a favor. Just set up a camera.
Yeah.
Record your reaction.
I'll probably stream it in the left field.
There you go.
Discord.
I
watched all 3 Acolyte. The Acolyte. I watched that today.
Son of a bitch.
My man. Oh, I will say I have some bad news to confirm.
What's up?
Ooh.
That is Battle Kenya.
See, I knew it.
That was Kenya.
I knew it. Japan on them bullshit. Japan on them bullshit. I told you.
The funny part is that like, that was the Kenyan representative. Look, man,
right now, Japan be pissing me off. After Spark and Zero comes out, I'm not consuming nothing Japanese. After Spark and Zero comes out,
I mean, the next Jujutsu Kaisen. Demon Honor.
He was like, wait a minute. He's like, I'm not done yet. I'm not out yet. Well, I mean, I will say, I should have prefaced it all by saying it was 1979. So there you go.
Yeah, but like
it's still bad.
Goku was 1990 something, and
I mean, look. You're not wrong.
Oh.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Kenya, what's that say? What's that? That's a comment for ants. What is this like?
Oh wait, here
sub alert for ants.
I got you. This is from Stomp 10. with the $4.99 says, loving the show, guys. I still can't believe that some people think that The Boys makes fun of the left and right when it's clearly left leaning. You know what it does? It makes fun of the left in so much as like
it makes fun of libs.
It makes fun of libs, yes. It doesn't make fun of progressives. It doesn't make fun of left leaning people in general. It makes fun of libs. Which I will say, it's the one thing that myself and conservatives have in common. I fucking hate libs. Like, own the libs. Own them, goddammit. But at the same time, y'all can go to hell too.
Own them. We want to own them for different reasons. No.
It, like, not performative reasons. We want to own them on principles.
There are people who don't really understand, like, what does that mean? I thought if libs meant you're on the right. Like, it's easy. It's not even a whole conversation to have. I would have voted for Obama a third time. That's your libs.
That's a lib. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or libs, or as I call them, moderates.
Yeah.
Like centrist. Yeah. Look.
That's all conservative. They're all conservative.
Yeah. It's all like, you know how Republicans have the word rhino for Republican in name only. Well, I don't think we actually use this term, but like Dino, Democrat in name only. Like, but the thing is, the left sucks at messaging, so that's why it's not a thing. But that said,
how is the Boys left leaning? How are they not left leaning? I wouldn't say the Boys is like ultra leftist or anything but I think the show is clearly making fun of MAGA types. It's making fun of the government.
You haven't watched the season. You haven't watched not one episode of the season?
Nope.
Oh, they are very like, they don't waste no time with the fuck the right.
But it's low hanging fruit. It's still lib shit though. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I got you.
Like making fun of racist people. Like, okay, I mean, like they're not like Democrats aren't out there doing the same exact thing. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. I actually kind of want you to watch it and go live, like jump in Discord and watch it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I know for a fact you are gonna trip at some of the shit that's in this season.
Like, legit, dude. Like, you think I'm joking? If you put a face cam on, I will watch all 3 episodes with you, just so I can see your reaction. With some shit in the first fucking episode, I'm like, oh my gosh, is Robo's ears ringing right now? I was checking the group chat, like, no, he hasn't said anything about it yet. Okay, cool, he hasn't watched it. Because I know some of that shit was like, oh, this is left face. This is left face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, dude, I was like, he's gonna eat this shit up. I was like, he's gonna. Also, I just gotta say, this isn't a spoiler, and I want to make it clear. The Boys will probably come up 1 or 2 more times. I'm not talking about spoilers today, so I want people to try and keep it spoiler free. But one of my favorite actresses, Valerie Curry, who plays a character on this season, she's really good at playing problematic people, which makes me kind of concerned, but just kind of why we're talking about what we're talking about today, or part of why we're talking about what we're talking about today. She plays a character named Firecracker. And the more you think about that name, it's like, aww. It's like, yeah, her powers, but also because she's white.
Oh,
it's like, okay. It's like, oh, she's white, so like that.
Firecracker, got it.
Oh, you're muted. You might have to leave and come back.
So everyone is awful. Bad Superman has been done 1 billion times. There's no good heroes except on woman who was assaulted in the first episode. How's that left? No. So like it's not a zero-sum game, right? So it's not that it's about the left, or here's a show where leftists are championed. But when you look at the themes, the overall themes, right? So the corporate heroes are actual pieces of shit. We're all being lied to. It's all marketing. Even people who are protesting are being manipulated, and then clearly amongst the populace, the red-hatted fucking obviously
The
they're supposed to be like Proud
home-teamers.
Boys types. Yeah, exactly. Like we know this is but it is when I say left, like we're not talking about leftists, right? Like obviously the show is low hanging fruit. It is lib shit, but I wouldn't mind. I don't have a problem calling it left leaning, considering how they portray bad guys.
I have an addendum to add to this real quick. Spicy whites refers to Hispanics who are white. Huh?
I call Italian spicy white.
I call those white ass Latinos, right? I call those motherfuckers spicy whites, especially when they over here
because they're white but they speak Spanish. All right, I don't like giving them that because they white.
No, I don't give them that because once they make 50 fucking K a year, they go red hat immediately. Shut up, you spicy white. That's what I say. That's what
I mean, well, no, I was just gonna say that the thing that's funny to me is because I think someone in the chat just said it. EliteX1 just said, talk about Homelander went full Trump last season when he murdered the dude on TV. That's right. The thing. Yeah. If that was
and they
literally
still loved him. That was the messaging. It was like everything about the show was look how dangerous Trump is. That
was a direct reference to that time at one of his little rallies where he said he could murder somebody on Fifth Avenue in broad daylight and no one would
No. He never said that. He said, and I'm being funny here. They say I could kill somebody on Main Street. The reason why I say it like that is because I sat there and I talked to somebody and they're like, he never said that. I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Motherfucker, yes, he did. The Google is free. And then his debunking, and I've seen this actually on right-wing, like Tim Pool shit and all that stuff. They'll literally go, look, what he said was, they say I can shoot anybody on Main Street. He didn't say that he could. He just... He's quoting it like what they say. I got a 10-incher around, and then one person said, "Oh, you heard him bragging about his thing." Like, nah. I didn't say I have one. I said they say I have one.
Well, and plausible deniability. That's what we're going with.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that dumb shit.
That's right wing propaganda 101. You never say the thing directly. You say, like, you bring up a mysterious, never before mentioned friend. And say, oh, well, that person said, or like kind of like how, what was it when Joe Rogan had got people thinking that, children were actually like identifying, as cats. And that
oh no, I didn't say that was true. I was just saying that articles were saying that.
No, he said he had a friend who was a teacher who told.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or a neighbor who was a teacher who told. But the thing is that
the
person,
amount of friends and teachers that people come up with, like I had that argument said to me, like, well, my friend who was a teacher in Florida said, "Shut the fuck up! You don't have no friends."
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's always that way. But the thing that's kind of funny, as we're talking about the boys, I was just talking about how, sometimes when you watch a thing, when you watch like a TV show or a movie, whatever, and someone does a job like too well, like you're just like you're like, oh my god, dude, this person is such a good actor, dude. They really nailed the thing. And I remember the first time I saw The Last King of Scotland. I don't know if either of you have seen this movie.
I have.
Yeah, it was Forrest Whitaker. He was playing Idi Amin.
Yeah. Ooh, what a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Uganda. Yeah. Dictator.
It was like that movie is. Oh man, it's a tough watch because of how fucked up it is. But like when I watched that,
how good of an actor he is,
and how good of an actor he is. Like, but when I walked out of that theater, I never at any point said to myself, man, that Forrest Whitaker, man, I don't know, man. I think he really genocided some people, man. I don't know, man. I think he's guilty. I think he's guilty. He was too good. He was too good in the role. I think, you know what I think? I think Idi Amin was a psyop. I don't think he's really dead. I think that we just saw him on the TV. But there are people out there who think like that. And we know this to be true. We know this to be true because of some stuff that's happened very recently. We talked about this last week with Furiosa. Furiosa, which for those, we talked about how
another movie I haven't seen. Damn it.
Oh man! Well, the good
left face.
the good news.
Sorry.
What was that?
Good.
I was like,
we're just over here having a conversation. Like you're not trying to we're not doing the show.
I'm not gonna lie. I was terribly fucking confused.
He said some shit, and then he said something else. And I'm like, man, I can't even hear you right now. He's like, oh my bad. Yeah. Normal shit that you do while you're talking. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I totally get it. It's you know what? I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I respect it actually because I actually was. I want to be a part of it though. I want to be a part of it. I want to be in on the fun. But no,
teacher did like no. Share with the class.
Share with the class.
Stand up. Read it out loud in front of everyone. You want to talk while I'm talking? Nah.
Show the magazine. Show the magazine that y'all are like. Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. I
didn't even say nothing. He started it, miss.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a flashback to when I was a kid, and it was like almost got the shakes there for a second because I actually had that happen to me. It's like no, go ahead.
Please don't.
No, I don't want to.
Hey, Robert, you think Cat likes me? That's
You stand up. Miss Richardson got a fat ass. I'm trying to smash.
See, it was never those exact words, but it was like I remember 5th grade. I had a teacher named Mrs. Keller, and she was literally at that point the hottest teacher I had up to to that point. Like all my teachers I had to that point were like. They were women who were clearly like old ladies, grandmas and shit. Mrs. Keller. Life. Oh yeah, no. Mrs. Keller was the first teacher I had in by the time I got to 5th grade, who was like, she wasn't a young woman. I mean, she was clearly like older, but like she carried herself like she was still in her 20s.
A teacher's bad when other moms are saying she's unprofessional just because she exists.
Yeah,
and why does she have to do all that?
Like those Instagram posts, like, you think that's inappropriate attire? I'm like, I'm going to the next PTA.
Well, no, it was one of those things too where she had this. It was at the time when like Halle Berry was kind of on the come up, and she had the Halle Berry cut.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so it was just like
the big thing.
It just made it worse. It just made it, and she didn't look like Halle Berry, but like but she was still like fine. So it was like it was still kind of just like ooh. So yeah, it was definitely one of those things we were talking about the teacher, but like nothing too crude, but just talking about how pretty she was. It was just like, and I was like, man, I really never want to have to say that. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. There was one, but she didn't even teach my class, and I tried to get into that English class.
The elite X1. Listen. We have enough of those. Listen, if you in 5th grade, you're about the right time. We all had a 5th grade teacher.
Well, I think the worst part is
calling around that time.
What was going to scare me is if I find out we were in the same class. That's what's going to scare me.
You start saying the name, and it's like, oh my god. Then you say your dad's name, and I'm saying dad. Like, wait a minute.
I was like, all right. I'm like, look, man, we got to meet. We got to settle this because I feel like this is some Highlander shit going on, man.
Well, and somewhere out there, the Hydro Collider just turned on, and these timelines are converging. We find out you guys all one the same.
Dude, hey, real quick, Drake's 45 isn't Spanish European language. You know what?
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna admit this is cope. But the fact that I don't know Spanish sometimes makes me feel some kind of way. Right? It gives me some of that Latino insecurity about my identity, right? But you know what I like saying? bitch, you just speak a different colonizer's language. You know, unless you speak in some indigenous shit, get the fuck out of my face with that. As I go cry about it because I don't know Spanish. But still, you're right.
As the person he's telling this, it says, sorry, no entiendo inglés.
Yes. But the Elite X1, shout out to Elite X1 getting us back on track.
Thank you.
We've
By the way,
I was the one that deviated us that
there's not
time.
going to be any just so you know, so I don't have to apologize later. Let's get it out of the way. I didn't do the indie video, so I'll put it out. We'll have one next week. My bad.
Hey,
Elite did his
you.
part and I didn't.
Hear me out. If you bait Blerd to talk about Super Sentai, you will
No. Oh, yeah.
You might. I mean, hey, look.
Hey, so what is Season 3 of Kamen Rider? I'm glad you asked, Robo.
It's like, you know what? Like, that's,
what are you doing
look.
Nothing. Red Ranger was the best.
Yeah. Look, be like, all you gotta do is ask me, what is my favorite Kamen Rider season and why? And I will sit you down and spin you a yarn. That's all. Like, you have to ask why. I would just tell you.
And if I'm running out of time, be like, oh, is that based off of anything? Like, who are they based off of?
Well, as you see,
Don't say Ronnie. We were doing this whole bit. You probably could have edited that video.
that is true. Actually,
it's a little bit longer than that.
You're like, goddamn. He's like, look, man. Look. That was Robo saying, look, man, I'm good, but
I'm gonna throw that shit in the AI, maybe. Yeah. Here,
look, he's like, hey, CapCut, handle this real quick.
Yeah, right.
Actually, well, why not?
he's like, wait a minute. Actually, hold on, wait. No, we recently got some news. For those who had not been keeping up, Nathan Jones, who is a former WWE wrestler. He's done some acting off and on throughout the years, but I remember the first time I think I ever saw him in a movie was in The Protector with Tony Jaa, like way back. Oh, handy business. But he plays Rictus Erectus in the Mad Max Fury Road and the Furiosa film. And in the movie, and I don't think this is really much of a spoiler, so I will definitely say I don't think it's going to ruin anyone's enjoyment of the movie to know this, but because this is a prequel and you're getting to see a character who has already met his demise by the time you get to the end of Fury Road, the weird thing about this is that you get a little more character development with him in Furiosa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in Furiosa we learn this man is a pedo bear.
Oh.
Okay. And I want to make sure I'm clear when I say this. I'm not saying Nathan Jones is a pedo bear.
Well, that's weird. You would have to say that.
Right. Well, it is weird because apparently a lot of people miss the message on that.
Oh, Lord.
There's a scene, and don't get me wrong, it's an uncomfortable ass scene. Don't get me wrong. It is an uncomfortable scene, and it is meant to be uncomfortable. But there's a scene where you're not really sure where this is going to go. And
the character, Rictus Erectus.
Yeah, Rictus. Yeah. So Nathan Jones, he had to come out with a statement and said, "Hi, everyone. I've noticed a few queries and private messages about my role in Mad Max Furiosa, particularly regarding a scene with young Furiosa. This is a very sensitive subject, and I want to emphasize that it involves a fictional character. The details can be uncomfortable, and as an actor, my job is to portray a character based on the direction and script provided to me. I appreciate your understanding and support in recognizing the distinction between fiction and reality. Thank you. Best, Nathan Jones."
I like the fact that he knows damn well this is a tweet and he writes it like that, or a Facebook post, and it's like that's snark. That's snark.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you guys are fucking idiots. That's what that says right there.
Yeah. Oh,
you
100%.
guys are fucking idiots.
Well, it's funny. It's also YTube noob, get out of my head. Get out of my head. You know the answer. Sorry. All roads. For those that are curious,
not even asking.
it's that's my favorite Kamen Rider season is Kamen Rider Guide. So there you go. That's by the way, it's the fruit themed one.
See,
it's the fruit themed one.
He's gonna keep going.
I'm a mind away, goddammit. But no, I'm taking that down because first off, yeah, okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's a better man than me. Because I would not have even dignified that bullshit with a response. No, I'm lying. I probably would have. But like, yeah. I feel like it's not necessary for anyone to have to make a statement about such things because let's be honest with ourselves. Shit is fucking make believe. Okay, it is here. Do I have it ready? I do. I think I do have it ready. Here
fictional characters. Fictional characters.
Yeah, I don't understand people. Like when I go out into the public and if I were to bump into an actor, like if I bumped into
Joffrey,
my god,
the guy who played Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
I wouldn't like attack him because like, oh, you son of a bitch. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do that. Hell, I still remember, man, let me make it very clear. If the what's that boy's name? He was the commish. Played Vic Mackey on The Shield. If I bumped into that motherfucker on the streets, I wouldn't try and attack him because he unalived one of my favorite characters in season 4 or 5. I don't remember exactly which one. I wouldn't do that.
You know who actually gets it a lot?
Who's that?
It's Ice-T. Ice-T, when he's out there talking about ACAB and fuck the police. And
Law and Order,
What you do, Law and Order? He's like, man, wait till you find out what acting is and that it's make believe. Like, stupid.
Well, it's even
funnier. He has a song called Cop Killer.
Hilarious. Matter of fact, a song he still talks about to this very day. Like it's like wow, dude. That's like I remember. So yeah, I'm gonna flex a little bit here just for a moment. I had the pleasure to talk to one of the co-creators of Ben 10 earlier today,
nice.
We were talking about his upcoming comic, which is going to be Johnny Quest.
They're making a Johnny Quest comic?
Yes, they are. Comes out in August.
Holy shit, my childhood.
Right? Like that's kind of that was kind of like what we were. And it's funny you say that. So he was talking about how, because he grew up a fan of the original Johnny Quest, that he was talking about the day he learned who was the voice of Johnny Quest and how like it was kind of wild to him to think about that person and all the other acting that they had done and starring in film and television. And I said, yeah, it's kind of weird because he brought up the fact that when Generator Rex came out and that J.K. Simmons, was on the show, and he was talking about how like it's so wild to me that like I have J. Jonah Jameson, in my show because he's like that's who I think of him as at the time. And I said, you want to hear something even wilder? Is that when Generator Rex was on, I didn't see J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. I saw him as Vern Schillinger from Oz, the Nazi who was constantly essaying Tobias Beecher. That is who I know him at. He was like, oh my God. He was like, you came from a very deep cut place with that. I was like, yeah. But the thing is, when I see J.K. Simmons out on the street, I don't immediately assume that he's a Nazi or a skinhead or whatever. I don't automatically.
Or hate Spider-Man. Yeah.
Or even wants pictures.
Right.
Pictures of Spider-Man. Like I don't think
bitches.
Like I don't think these things. When I see Tobey Maguire on the street, I don't automatically assume that he is Peter Parker. You know, I don't.
Right.
And I think
there's got to be something to this shit. There's got to be some sort of deal. So while you were talking, I looked up some. When I say looked up, I asked ChatGPT. But I said, I asked my homie, old GPT. I call him G.
Yeah. We go way
so
back.
What are some real life examples that I've been writing for old G since ChatGPT 3. We're now on 4.0. It's we got history. What are some real life examples that parallel Stephen King book Misery? John Lennon was murdered. Involves Mark David Chapman. Chapman was reportedly obsessed with Lennon and deeply troubled by the contradictions he perceived in Lennon's lifestyle and his lyrics in his songs. Bjork was mailed a mail bomb and then committed suicide on video by somebody obsessed with her. Attack on Teresa Saldana. Actress Teresa Saldana was attacked and nearly killed by author Richard Jackson, a man who became obsessed with her. Jackson hired a private detective to obtain her address and traveled from Scotland, found her, stabbed her repeatedly. She survived because a delivery man witnessed the attack and intervened. Rebecca Schaefer, a young actress known for her role in the sitcom My Sister Sam, was murdered by an obsessed fan, Robert John Bardo. Bardo had been stalking Schaefer for 3 years before the incident. So the reason why I bring that up is because
bring the mood down.
When you sit there and go, media literacy is a thing, right? But this shit gets. I'm talking to the people who are sitting there mad at people like Joffrey, who are mad at the person who played a serial killer. Like you low key like these people. Like you cannot tell fact and fiction. Like you got something wrong with your brain. You know what I mean? Yeah, that shit is Selena. Yeah, but she was killed. She was killed by her maid, and fuck that bitch. And by the way, she's supposed to be getting out soon.
Oh yeah,
I think she's already out. I think
how's she still living?
That's a good question.
Well,
that's to be fair, they never actually say why Yolanda actually killed her.
You know why she killed her?
Why?
Trying to get that money.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's a lot of theories out there. One of them is actually, but let's not get into it. Anyways, but
say it real fast. Say it fast, and I won't ask any follow-up questions.
Huh?
Say it fast, and I won't ask any follow-up questions.
They say that Selena was low key in the closet.
Oh, so they were lovers.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I mean, still fuck that bitch.
No, I'm just saying, but for money. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that's.
So it's okay to kill somebody now. Oh, if you love her, you can kill them now. Man, that's crazy, Chris.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute.
This is episode 29. This is a good time for me to sign out.
No, sit your ass down. Well, I mean, you're already sitting down. But no, so this is funny that Elite brings this up. So not the same show, but does also involve a Victor. So it's funny that Elite brings up Victor from Days of Our Lives, because just the other day, we were watching, because for whatever reason, my daughter was learning about the Titanic in Clue Camp, and so she wanted to watch the Titanic movie, and there's a part where the actor who plays Victor Newman on not Days of Our Lives, but on Young and the Restless shows up for like 2 seconds. And both my mother and myself looked at each other because we were like, oh my God, Victor fucking Newman. And the thing is, Victor Newman is a character on that show that's committed and perpetrated all kind of bullshit. But like, if I ever bumped into Victor Newman out in the streets, I don't believe that he is his character. Like, I don't think that he is I'm not going to, I mean, if I saw him on the street, I would call him Victor to get his attention, but because I don't know the actor's real name. But hell, I'll throw you one better. I bumped into fucking Johnny Nitro, John Morrison, a wrestler who typically plays bad guys. Not all, maybe not so much nowadays, but like at the time, he always played a bad guy for the most part. And I bumped into that motherfucker in an airport. And I know that he's not his character. So, like, I'm not going to be like, man, I don't appreciate how you jumped on Rey Mysterio on Thursday Night SmackDown. No, that's a bullshit. No, don't pull me off him. Don't pull me off him. I'm going to get you, Johnny. I'm not going to do that shit. That would just be, that would be dumb. That would be dumb. That would be very fucking dumb of me. Not to mention, to kind of point at wrestling a little bit further, there was a time where people thought wrestling was very real. And I remember reading...
It's not real?
Is predetermined. But... but
you want to find out it's real, get in the ring.
Look. Okay, I will tell you this much. Wrestling is real in so much that if I jumped off the top rope and tried to drop the elbow, landed, and missed my target, it would not feel particularly good. Or that if you, like if you, or if you body slammed me on the mat, it was still like, even with you like decreasing your acceleration of the toss at the right moment to keep me from hurting myself, it's still gonna hurt. Like, it's not gonna feel great, in that sense. But no, people. I remember, and I don't like bringing this guy up because he's problematic, but I remember when I used to actually like the guy. Some of you probably know what I'm talking about when I tell the story. He told the story of when he used to manage the Midnight Express, and basically they did a thing where they did a bit where they chloroformed the baby faces. Chloroform, like they had the chloroform, poured it on the rag, grabbed one of the baby faces, hit him with the chloroform to knock him out so that they could get the pin. The people in the audience erupted. People were trying to climb over the gate. People were trying to get into the ring, and they had to run out the back of the building. Because the people thought that he chloroformed the babyface for real. And when they, and like, I think they said this was a day or two later, they were driving to the next territory, and the tag team, they weren't, Outlaw, he knows. I guess the cat's out of the bag. It was Jim Cornette. But Jim Cornette was telling a story about how he had to go bail the Midnight out of jail, or go pick them up from the police station, rather, because the police pulled them over, took them to prison, and was questioning them about how they chloroformed. They was like, so that's assault, right? That's like y'all didn't really chloroform our boy, did you? Because that was back in a time where people thought, like at the time, people didn't know. People thought it was fucking real. So if you did some crazy, heinous shit in the ring, people would lose their shit. People would attack you. They would try to stab you. And it just goes to show that, why I always say that, sometimes people can't tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Even when, like, if you go back, objectively speaking, you go back and look at wrestling, it appears fake on its face. But people want to believe something. They have to believe something. And there's like, kind of like the person was jokingly saying it's real to me. That's kind of those don't know. That's actually a throwback to there was a guy that went viral because he was at a wrestling convention or con where there was a panel about wrestling on or whatever, and he was like, "It's still real to me, damn it!" And he was like crying and shit, like loses. Like I was like, bruh. Actually, one day I'm gonna clip that shit and make it a cutaway. We're making a drop, but I mean, he was like tears in his eyes, grown ass man, like Robo. I'm talking a guy who's like at the time was like our age now.
Damn.
And he was like, "It's still real to me, damn it." Like he's basically
For people who don't know, what age is that? Yeah, we might have some viewers in the chat.
Mid-30s. Yeah.
Somewhere between the mid-30s to early 50s. Somewhere.
Yeah.
No, so we have my snow viewers, so I'm just trying to make sure they, context. Sorry, I'm
fucking with you. But no, so my thing is with that, people tend to have this thing where they're not able to separate fantasy and reality. Herb Sweet, you ain't shit. Imagine catching a case because Ricky Morton's selling too hard. hey, look, let me tell you something. That would be I'm not gonna lie, that would be a story to tell. I mean, it is a story to tell, but like, for those that just don't know, sometimes like wrestling, it goes to show how strong the craft was back then because people didn't know all the ins and outs. Like, yeah, it's easy to look at it by today's standards and be like, man, really? Man, I don't know about all that. But like back then, these dudes really put their bodies on the line. Like they would literally, what would happen is someone would get hit with the steel chair when the ref wasn't looking. And the guy would like just pass out, literally fall the fuck out, and would just be rolling around the ground in pain, like, oh man, dude, look at him. Oh man, oh dude, they hurt our boy. They hurt our boy. And then like all the while, you're so caught up in the fact that this guy has been literally laid into with a steel chair that's probably not actually made out of steel, but we just say these things because it makes it sound bigger than what it is. All the while, this dude has reached into his wrist wraps, pulled a blade. He's cut himself in a couple of places, getting a little juice, getting a little color, as they say. And then he gets up, and all of a sudden, you see him, he's got blood pouring down his face. He's like, oh my God. Referee. Like people used to be such suckers. And it's the reason why carny culture used to get over so well. Because at the end of the day, people are fucking marks. And it's not just and it's not just with carny shit. It's with everything. Like, case in point. This is one of my favorite examples of people not understanding the point. And it's Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty. But I hate telling motherfuckers that I like Rick and Morty sometimes because there's two types of Rick and Morty fans. I mean, technically there's more than that, but there's two types that apply to this narrative. There's people who enjoy Rick and Morty and like, oh man, that show is so funny, man. Dude, Rick is a trip, man. But man, couldn't be me though. And then there's people like, I fucking love Rick and Morty. Rick is right. Yeah, man. Rick is gold.
It's so smart.
Yeah,
so smart.
It's smarter than all of you. See, you don't like it. You don't get it.
If you were smart enough to get it, you would love it too.
Yeah.
See, no. See, you're just a casual Rick and Morty. See, no. I know all the hidden meanings behind all the jokes in Rick and Morty. Cause see, I'm just smarter than you. There's people out there who legit think that, and don't get me wrong. The show is smart. It is an intelligent show. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that it's not, but it is not as intelligent as a lot of people want to believe it is. And the people who make the show have even said as much.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit reminds me of I love Breaking Bad. You know what I'm saying? But I hate telling people that I love Breaking Bad because the way people romanticize Walter White.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but that's like the same idiots who like Scarface and all that shit. These are heroes that he's got to shit. Yeah.
Also, by the way, I have the most wonderful wife in the world. She brought me this homemade milkshake. That woman is trying to get some action tonight.
That's twice now that you've like talked her up.
I was gonna say,
I feel like you fucked up recently.
I was like, zoom out the camera. I'm trying to see something.
Hey, I want.
Look, if I pan over.
Hey, blink twice
All right,
if you're
check this
okay.
out. She found out where to get the likes, where they could look at someone's likes on Instagram, and she didn't talk to me for a week, so I'm trying to like fix things here.
Yeah, look, man, she
I thought we were gonna bring up the thread.
she found my baddies playlist.
Yeah, my secret Twitter.
Hey, likes are private now.
Look, hey, look, look. That's why y'all gonna have to kick me off Twitter now, because I'm like I said this the other day. Day. Oh yeah, wait, let me. There you go. Like y'all are gonna have to kick me off Twitter now, because let me explain something to you. I said this the other day. There's two types of people who are excited about the fact that likes are no longer visible. There's people like me who like to look at baddies, seeing, I'm that guy. I'm gonna go say right now, like I've told this to Robo before. When I go to some of these baddies accounts, first thing I look for, where the link tree at?
Or beacons. We don't discriminate.
Right? Or, I'm gonna say beacons or the .gg, whatever it is that you got. I'd be like,
damn well you go to the media tab first.
Well, yeah, I go there first. But I'm also, I'm gonna tell you how nasty.
Should we be telling these trade secrets, or we don't care? Okay,
I don't care. Look. My wife knows where I'm at. Okay, she knows what I'm gonna do. No, but there's a reason why there's like multiple monitors, because like what I'll do is I'll have the media tab up on one screen and the link tree on the other.
You click that Threads link that Chris put in the chat, right?
Well, you can say my name. What you say?
Somebody put it in the chat.
You're gonna say
Somebody.
You saw that link?
Wait.
Run it back. Somebody. The delay. We just edit that out.
Cool. Just a laugh.
I'm just saying. When it comes down to it, for me, I'm like, now I can click like on that nasty shit that I be seeing on there and be like, ooh, yeah, all right. Like now I don't feel bad when I see like a Miss B Nasty video, and I can be like, look, I can hit like on the I can hit like on the Miss B Nasty videos now. And not feel like a weirdo. But no,
so you keep joking about this, but
he's a fan.
Hey, there's a culture after dark is looking more and more like a reality. Keep talking.
Right. Well, no, it's no, the reality is Blerd and Shannon Sharp.
I heard there's so many big ranges.
Hey. Don't you worry about that. But no, it's the thing that's funny about it to me is that there's also people who are happy that likes aren't visible, so they can like all the racist, homophobic, transphobic shit that they like and not be judged for it. Oh yeah, there's also that too. There's also that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm about to say, look, let me tell you something. Man. And this is the realest talk I'll ever give. I don't really be studying motherfuckers like that on Twitter like people think I do. Okay, there's a reason why. I know a lot of y'all have reached out to me on IG and I don't respond. There's a reason why. IG is for one thing for me and one thing only, and it's for baddies. It's not for anything else. Like you might catch me on Threads, but yeah, no, not at all. Look, I will be there to turn the day I leave Twitter will be the day that Elon Musk starts charging to use the site just like on a mundane level. Once he starts saying, okay, you got to give me like $15 a month, $8 a month, whatever to use Twitter. I'll be like, oh, okay, you can have this little look.
Right.
I would be like that girl that you annoyed at the bar. I'll be like, oh, man, Here, take this drink back. Take this drink back.
Robbie Towers. It's funny you bring that up. The new iOS can hide apps. It's funny. It's funny. Let me tell you a quick story about that. So Maneater saw that and was like, "Why would they add this?" And I said, you know what's funny? All that talk about insecure dudes and shit. I said, it says that however you react to this says a lot about you. And she goes, why? I'm like, maybe you want to hide your menstrual cycle app from people in Texas because they want to, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you got an app that's for a medical condition and that's nobody's business. Maybe you got an app, you want to hide your bank app. So if your phone gets stolen, because you can put it into this thing and you can put a code behind it. And she's like, shut up. It's so man could cheat.
You know the sad part is I can literally hear her say that.
Yeah, that was quick. The nigga ain't shit clause came in quick on that one.
Yeah,
like,
right.
We know why. We know why.
She's trying to flip it on me like, oh, not all men now, huh? I'm like, no, what? That's not what I. All right.
It's the bear and man in the forest so the vodka all over again.
I mean, I'm just saying. But no, I mean, look, all bullshit aside, though, like, look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like one billionaire, his problematic ass is, any better than the next the problematic billionaire, that also owns or happens to own a social media, site. I mean, let's be real. The
lizard dude?
Talking about Zuck? Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're being technical about it, Zuck now technically has like what, 3? If we're being technical, between like because Facebook and Instagram are technically like a package deal. You've got Threads, which is
Threads and Instagram. It's all one thing. They're doing that meta thing.
Yeah. It just at the end of the day,
WhatsApp there for some razzle dazzle.
Look,
I mean, so here's the thing though. Let me just say I'm with you and I agree. I could just leave it there, but I won't.
However, wait. You got to do like the wait. Which ways? Okay, you got to be like.
However, I've said something like this before. I do think. By the way, I'm on Twitter, right? So this is not judgment. I'm still on Twitter, but I do appreciate a little bit like what woke as fuck said, because it's like it's kind of like when you sit there and like why I won't give business to Chick-fil-A, right? Do I think that Taco Bell's CEOs are some like, for the culture woke ass people that are doing good for the world? No, they're giving their money to the same fucking people that the Chick-fil-A people get their money to. But I think it's a little bit different when somebody wants to be out there saying with their chest. It puts you like in a little bit of a different category. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, this one is ran by somebody who hates black people. You know damn well he hates black people, but he never said nothing, right? And this one's like, I'm giving my money to the KKK. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna shop that one, and I guess I'll shop at this one, even though I know, yeah. Twitter is a little bit different. Threads is gonna have your people on there, but Twitter, let me tell you. Next level racism, white supremacy, the Jewish question being asked every day. Are you going to find racism on Threads? 100%. But because it's not Elon Musk, and again, this is not because they're better people, not because Zuck is a better person. Threads, Instagram, Meta just cares about the ad dollars more. Let's just be real about it, right? It's not because
it's
they're
not
better
principle
character-wise.
Yeah.
No, it's not principle. But because they care about the ad dollars more, they are definitely more strict with like bigotry and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Twitter is sometimes I forget and I see some shit that's on there. Look, I'm doing a thing. I want to make a short about it where it's all the people who are screaming about DEI, especially when it comes to Yasuke in the game coming up. When it comes Yasuko, Yasuke,
Yeah,
whatever,
Yasuke.
however the right way to word Yasuke.
Yasuke.
Like it's about authenticity. It's about Japanese representation, right? I'm like, okay, bet. Let's check the comments. Oh, weird. Here's a "We was Kangs" comment. Cool, cool. And let me tell you, over on Threads, you get some like wild ass shit like that with some of the profile pictures you've seen, and "We was Kangs." They'll get banned. You know what I mean? Twitter's like, First Amendment, bro. He didn't say the N-word. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
And yeah, it's a little bit different. But
Yeah.
Threads doesn't have hardcore porn. Twitter does, so you got to keep it relevant. So.
Well, it's officially allowed now, so I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Huh?
No, because they announced this. Was it this week or last week? Like, oh, it's officially allowed now. I was like, hold up, time out.
I'm like, where have you been for the past 5 years?
I was like, this was all contraband. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I was like,
when I say hardcore, I'm talking about anybody. You know what? You know how I know I might have a little bit of a problem. Not to put a business out there, but Maneater does too. That's why we're okay with this. But it's like, she ain't listening. Nobody heard that.
No,
but it's like,
Yeah.
just what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
The way you imitate her voice to me is always funny because she don't sound like that
You
at
know,
all.
like, I know. just like when you talking when your mom, you have like super strong Hispanic accent.
Mama speaks perfect English.
Yeah, but it's like I know I have a problem whenever somebody says Instagram has that stuff too. I'm like, oh,
No.
No.
we're not looking at the same stuff, homie.
No. Look, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna share that story. No,
all right.
I'll put it
because I do want to listen to it offline.
Yeah, I'll share it later. But like for me, it's not about where I am, and let's be real. I don't believe in consumer activism in the way that a lot of other people do. Me and Robo have had this discussion before. If it's like a targeted, if it's a targeted consumer activism effort where like. Right, like everybody is in on like there's meetings, there's a Discord server, there's like a Slack or some shit, whatever, for that shit. Yeah, okay, count me the fuck in because that's more likely to work. But like if everybody just like, well, I'm not gonna do this one thing because principle, and I think everybody else should too. I'm gonna be that motherfucker that's gonna be like, I support you and your efforts. However,
I do what I want.
I'm gonna do what I want. And that's just me. And I'm open and honest about that. Like I tell people this all the time. I like, it's kind of like, yeah, it could work if everybody was on the same page, but no one's on the same page. So at that point, we're all
with what?
No, just like talking about just in generalities, like, or you know what? I'll speak more specifically. Case in point, the Wizard game. The game that nobody wants to say the name of. That game literally went on to become the highest selling game of the year, despite people either hating it or loving it or boycotting it or going out of their way to buy it. And it's kind of wild to me because the people who wanted to boycott the game, they were not organized. If they were more organized, that shit probably would have worked. Like, they would have actually made a conscious effort, but it was like just people saying, oh, well, I'm just not going to do this. And it was like, and the funny thing about it is, a lot of those people who said they weren't going to do this, I know for a fact they fucking did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if they would have shut the fuck up and not give the game so much publicity, then nobody would have cared.
Nobody would have cared. Like the other day, I saw somebody point out that the studio said that they were preparing DLC for the game. I was like, who the fuck is still playing this? I liked the game, and I'm asking this question. I'm like, bruh, I mean, the game was good, but it wasn't that goddamn good. Like, goddamn, like,
I mean, facts.
I'm just saying. Look, this is why I say consumer activism does not like. I think there was something you showed me, Robo, where like, people organize and actually manage to get some real change and some shit. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. That's the kind of consumer activism I'm down with.
McDonald's after that IDF bullshit, McDonald's took a hit. And actually had to go in and do damage control because they were like, yeah, damn. They people were like, and I think there is a difference, you know, and you know, we can move on to the I don't know. You seen Acolyte, right?
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh man. Anyways,
he hasn't. He hasn't.
I have. That's okay. I can nod along. Okay. I got a phone.
All right.
I got games. I got games.
I do think there's a difference. I think there's a difference between thinking you're doing something when it's not organized, right? Thinking that you're making a difference, right? Acknowledging that you're not. Do I think that me choosing not to play Hogwarts Legacy or me not eating at Chick-fil-A, does that make a difference? Am I changing the world? No. But it's just something I have chosen to do. And I think some people don't allow for like the kind of shit that's like, hey, you do you. You know what I mean? Me and you, we've talked. Right? I've given my honest opinions. I didn't give a pass. I said, well, I don't think you should. But it's like, okay, at the end of the day, like what are you gonna do? You know, you're a grown ass man. You know what I mean?
It's installing on blur screen. I don't think you should do it. As the game is installing on blur screen, I don't think you should do it.
And Blur's like, well, I didn't really ask you, but all right.
He's like,
how that conversation went.
Yes, we are still watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's my thing right there. It's like, I think we all have different lines. You know, there are people who say, man, I'm so like their passion is workers' rights. There might be people who's like, no, I'm not watching this shit, or I'm bootlegging it. You know what I mean? Because of it, you know, UFC. You know, I think it's always been like this way, but especially since the conviction, the way the last UFC went, I have never seen them be on Trump's dick this hard. Yeah. And I have made it, I'm telling you right now, I'll say it out loud. I don't give a fuck. I am bootlegging the fuck out of UFC. I will never give them a dime. You know what I mean? Because they're just fucking garbage people. Yeah. I just happen to love the sport. But I think there's a difference between doing something for your own personal principles and then doing something that it's like, hey, I'm going to do this in solidarity, you know? And that BDS is definitely something that I do in solidarity because, you know, we want to send a message. And then there's other shit that I know I'm not sending a message. I'm not going to put, you know, that's not where I choose to spend my money type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's a difference.
Yeah. I mean, no, there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference.
Yeah. I mean, guaranteed, I'm spending money somewhere that someone will be able to call me out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, no, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, in the same breath that I've seen people criticize, like I remember, oh my god, you know, people were back when people were the initial freak out over Chick-fil-A, and I remember like. While all that was going on, it was like people were like being like so like high and mighty about their shit. And I was like, here's the thing. Everybody does something fucked up. Everybody likes something that is a little fucked up. You know, and any like I'm not gonna lie, I don't have it in me to means test every single thing that I get into. Like it just it's just one of those things. I'm just not like, yeah. Because at that point, I'm spending more time judging the thing as opposed to enjoying the thing. It's like it's kind of why I have different rules of engagement for whether or not I, quotey fingers, because I don't really believe cancellation is real, but because it's not. No one ever like. I mean, there are very few people who legitimately get canceled. It's not a thing. But like, if it's like, I am quicker to boycott a person who's like, if we're talking about in the creative spectrum, someone who their work is solely theirs. Like, and what I mean by that is like a singer-songwriter. like a rapper or a singer or an R&B artist or a country singer, whatever. Someone who like, okay, it's easy for me to say fuck R. Kelly because R. Kelly is the one dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna say, when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out, I'm not gonna say, well, fuck Chris Pratt, so therefore, fuck going to see this movie, because let's be real, he's not the only motherfucker in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like people just have to be more, like, you have to think about that shit a little bit more.
None of that shit is black and white anyway, right?
No,
I mean, like,
no.
Maybe if Chris Pratt came out and was like some crazy ass news dropped and Disney decided to keep him anyway, maybe you would, right? Because now there's other things. Shit is not black and white though.
No.
You know what I mean? And also woke as fuck. I'm reading what you're saying. I respect it. But understand, you don't assume, like, don't put words in anybody's mouth, right? Like, because there is shit that myself, Ernie, Chris will be in solidarity of, right? But you can't say because I choose to not, XYZ, you know what I mean? For example, I'll give you a good example, right? First of all, the bus thing that was targeted, that was nationwide, right?
That was,
or for the entire city. I mean, and it was like, we're going to boycott this, and that was concerted, right? That's what he's saying. Like, BDS is targeting things that fund Israel. You should be on top, and that is good, right?
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. In the Latin community, a very popular brand everybody's heard of, most people have heard of it, especially if you had anybody in your life, is Goya, right? So Goya products is like synonymous with like Caribbean Latin food. You know what I mean? Like you sometimes see it in Mexican food, stuff like that. But I mean, if you're Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Goya is the thing.
It's a must.
Guess what? I am. The CEO came out, Trump supporters. Remember, I said, like, it's different. Like, most billionaires are probably Trump supporters, but he came out as like, nah, I support him. He's right, yada yada yada, right? Mm-hmm. Especially after what Trump did with Puerto Rico, after the hurricane, all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. So guess what? You go in my cabinet, all my shit's Badia, all of it, and I won't buy Goya. Now, what we're talking about, the difference, right? The difference is if Chris is like, bro, Goya's everywhere, and I'm like, hey, I can't, I gotta order buy this shit from off Amazon if I want to do that. I'm gonna be like, man, that's fucked up. You're not for the culture. You need to be in solidarity. You're not, that's fuck. You're a fair weather. You're not a real fuck. Blah, 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 right?
Spicy white. You know
what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to say that you're a piece of shit because in the shops that you shop at, Goya is just all over the place. Yeah, I'm with you. That's kind of fucked up, but I wouldn't really be able to cook what I want to cook without Goya, right? And so that's the level. That's the level. Now, if I told somebody, hey, just so you know, that shit right there directly funds a genocide. And somebody told me, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm a judge that motherfucker. I'm judging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, it's still personal though. It's still that I'm gonna judge them. I mean, you gotta judge them.
No, but I mean, that's facts. I mean, I've gotten that argument about Dragon Ball Z when we were like, you know how racist that shit was back in the 80s and 90s. I was like, yes, I know.
Whole Samba.
I'm sorry.
Whole Samba.
I'm sorry. I tried, but then they dropped the Broly movie, and I was like, oof. I'm a piece of shit.
Well, and that's kind of more.
There was a boycott on Goya. There was.
There was.
Well, and also, like I keep saying, when shit's organized, and no matter how you slice it, the bus boycotts, I mean, whether they were organized from jump or not, when did it actually start working?
When it became
solid, organized.
Organized, Look at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Starbucks was lost a couple bills because people got organized. Like, fuck that coffee. Fuck what you do in South America.
Hell, even the Amazon shit, where they were trying to get unionization, it was because it started working when people got organized. And like, that's my thing.
Nestle. Big ass corporations. To your point of Nestle, people got organized. She took a hit. Kellogg's, people got organized. They took a hit.
Took a hit.
So yeah, so I mean, should I keep going or should we move on? How about move on?
Yeah, I was gonna say move on. I will say this. As far as what Levester is talking about, and also because I meant to come back to this earlier, but I missed it. We got one here from Hero Mode. Here, we'll bring this in the homie Galen over here. So still hate Sean for playing Marty. Talking about when he super kicked Shawn Michaels, broke up the rockers and super kicked Marty Jannetty and then flung him through a window on the barbershop of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. It was wild. It was terrible. I'm not gonna lie, that was a moment in time. It was a dark time in my life. I was not okay after that because I really liked the Rockers. But let me tell you something, man. Shawn Michaels became really cool after that. So I was like, yeah, man, fuck Marty. And then we come to find out years later, Marty Jannetty was a crazy motherfucker. Like, and I mean in real life, crazy motherfucker. So I'm like, I was like, man, maybe he really should have kicked that motherfucker and put him through the glass. But that said, Levesto Samurai asked a question. Says, "Hey guys, any of you into the Dragon Age game series?" I am. I don't know about anybody else here.
I only played Inquisition and I rented it. So
damn.
I played the first Dragon Age
Origins.
And it was definitely one of those things that I spent. I probably would know Spanish by now. If you take the amount of hours I played things like Dragon Age, Skyrim, Witcher 3, Dragon's Dogma, Fallout games. Now I'm doing it again. I would probably know like 3-4 languages.
Hey, hear me out. Here's una idea.
Mm-hmm.
Play it in Spanish. They had Spanish dubs and Spanish subtitles in that bitch.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, if especially a game you already played, or just put the Spanish subtitles. By the way, playing Gears of War, I play Gears of War
with Spanish when he's yelling in Spanish.
I played it in Spanish because one of my homies told me.
Like, I was thinking, what's the one we were playing together?
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Play that with Spanish, and he's yelling all his shit, but it's Spanish.
No, por democracia. Play it in Spanish, bro. Like, it might help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny. I jumped in on the beginning, same as Robo did with Dragon Age Origins, and I did the same thing.
Was Origins the first one? I thought it was a prequel.
No, Origins was the first game.
Okay, gotcha.
So it goes Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and then this upcoming game, Dragon Age The Veilguard. It's funny to me because, man, I put some hours on Origins. Like, I beat that game backwards, forward, side to side, smacked it.
So much fucking.
Oh, dude. Smacked it, flipped it, rubbed it down, all that shit. It was like, I think I played.
Thank you, Levester.
I played literally every permutation of the game, like to the point that like I was learning. I was always, whenever I played the game, I was always seeing something different. For the most part. Like there was one point the day I learned that because I remember I was playing the game and there's a character you meet, an older woman named Wynn, I believe was her name. Older woman who's a mage and kind of a goody two shoes. Didn't really care for her as a character. I remember the day I discovered she was a party member. And it was funny to me because there's a part where you meet her in the Mage's Tower. I would always end her life. Every time. Because she would get in my way.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I was like, you know what? Let me try something here. Let me try working alongside the Templars on this one. I normally come here.
Templars, boo.
It's propaganda. It's all propaganda. It's Templar-ganda, basically. But the one time I was like, you know what? Fuck
Religious nationalism. That's what that is.
Dude, let me tell you something. To tell you how dedicated I was to unlocking everything, I sent, what was that boy's name? Alistair sent that motherfucker packing one time.
Bro, your memory is wild.
Yeah.
Fun fact, before I forget, you know, in Dragon Age, when you're in a horse galloping in regular speed, doesn't let you don't go any faster.
Nope.
The galloping only adds the speed lines.
Mm-hmm. You still move the
Because of a
exact
glitch
same
again?
speed. I actually went back and tried it to test that theory, and I was like, bruh.
It just adds speed lines. It's crazy.
Look, you know what they say? Perception is reality. And if it makes me feel better,
Bro, you're not in the military no more. Let it go.
no, if that's real though, it's look, if it makes me feel better, then why would you ruin that for me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's...
Would it be petty if I say because you do it to me?
Damn.
I'm asking, would that be petty?
He's like,
No, it'd be the truth.
it's like, all right. He's like, no, it's cool. It's cool.
You should look your lips.
Yeah.
No,
man. I'm good. No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
No. That's it. What you gotta say? No.
Hey, but are y'all gonna play Dragon Age?
Yeah, I am. Basically, I was gonna say, I sided with Logain one time. I did that.
Oh,
once. Yeah. That was meant.
Wait. You did get interrupted. So you decided to side with the Templars instead of kill her because you always killed her. What happened?
Wynn became a part of my party, and I had a healer, which I thought was crazy.
Okay.
Well, also, and when I got to the end of the game, instead of siding with Alistair and backing his claim to the crown, I stepped in and I told Alistair to kick rocks and told Logain to come on up, man. You're redeemed.
you wanna know why I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have dementia when I get older.
God damn,
And I'm wondering maybe it's not gonna be such a bad thing.
God
Because
damn, dude.
I played. If somebody in your life actually has dementia and that's a thing for you, I apologize. I don't mean to make light of it. But I'm also kind of like low-key serious because my brain is like my memory sucks. I'm going through Fallout, and let me tell you something. When I tell you that my Fallout caused marital problems in my first marriage, like I played the fuck out of Fallout.
Fuck them kids. I don't need a wife.
Let me tell you, I'm playing through again. It's like the first time. I'm like, man, I don't remember shit.
Damn.
Like there'll be like an area I get to that I'm like, oh shit, I kind of remember this. I don't remember nothing.
Wait,
You're talking about
Go ahead.
Dragon
No,
Age?
sorry.
You're like Alistair, and the thing I'm like, see, if I do get dementia, I could play the same game over and over and still just keep like,
Imagine playing
kinda
Baldur's Gate
envious.
3 again.
over and over, new every time.
Man, bro, did you hear?
You already played this already.
Man, you hear about that
Nah,
part
this-
where like you could find the cat on top of the church? Huh?
Like, get the fuck out of here.
You know what though? I'm kind of envious about that because I could stop playing that game for
yes.
years. What was that?
Talking about
You
Shale,
envious what?
Oh,
the golem.
Oh, gotcha.
There was a golem character you could get in your party.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
It was a DLC character, I think. But yeah.
I wish I can do that. Like, stop playing the game for years and come back to it and act brand new. Because
I didn't know. I was a superpower I recently found out.
yeah, because I've been walking back in and I'd be like, oh, I remember this part. Yeah, my
See,
dad's gonna
that would
die.
have ruined it for me. If I popped in Fallout after the Fallout TV series, if I popped in Fallout and remembered everything B for B, like I knew how the shit was gonna go down, I wouldn't have stuck with it. I wouldn't have stuck with it. The fact that it was new is why. Yeah.
But did you finish it the first time?
Yeah, I finished all of them.
Damn.
I
God
love
damn.
them. I just don't remember.
That's actually wild to me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, no, it's just that's why I don't repeat too many games. because I usually remember exactly how they go. So I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll
Especially if
I'll
they're
start
linear.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2 game series that I've repeated because I love the plot that much and the gameplay was the Legend of Zelda series and Metal Gear. And those cutscenes are long, and I'd be sitting there just like it's because I love them so much. But I like for Metal Gear 1, I could quote it line for line.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what game I loved is The
and
Last
3.
of Us. So Last of Us and Last of Us 2 are games that I fucking love. And I remember when I finished them, sat there and it's just like, fuck, bro. What a fucking good story. If somebody would have been like, you gonna replay it? I'm like, fuck no. What the fuck? I already know how everything happens. It's really good. What the fuck I play it twice for? He's like, oh, is there like can I do something different? Oh, so it's gonna be the same thing?
No.
Same thing, yeah. You don't want to do New Game Plus?
Yeah. Now instead of you ruin the story by pissing me off because everything one hits me. Cool.
Oh, hold up. I gotta answer this. LEX1, not only do I understand Metal Gear, I can teach a seminar about this shit. I could, from beginning to end, chronologically, I can give you every detail about Metal Gear. I'm not even exaggerating. Like when I was obsessed with that series. Like somebody in TikTok asked me, like, what's something you can do unprepared with no, literally talk about Metal Gear.
So what I've seen on TikTok before is like part 102, why blah blah blah, part 105, blah 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 blah, and they pick up. You should do one on your Cypher World TikTok where it's like it's part 1, and if you like this da 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 da, let me like it for more. But like shit that da da da, like you know what somebody did it on? I saw it and it was like 100 something parts on this bitch. It was that for what's the one with Disney like Final Fantasy meets Disney?
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they was like everyone says that Kingdom Hearts is hard to follow. Well, now I'm going to explain it. And they did a whole TikTok series on it. You should do that.
Shit's wild.
I should.
I would say yes, please, because then maybe I would like I love Metal Gear Solid, but I will not ever tell you that like I know a lot of like I can say this much. I know enough to tell you which one is my favorite one, and that's it.
I'm gonna tell you all you need to know about Metal Gear Solid right here. Ready? You could crawl around in a box in some games.
All of them.
When you get caught, it makes a sound you'll never forget. Yeah, and sometimes you have like a little Mechazord thing that you keep trying to fight, thinking you're supposed to fight it until you clicks. Oh fuck! I'm supposed to run away, aren't I? And it turns into like a whole scene. So.
I'm about to say, yeah.
He's like, there's a Mechazord. That is Metal Gear. That what you described. That the robot.
Oh, that's the thing. That
is
Metal Gear. I'm like, damn, what's this dinosaur looking thing? Damn. See, I'm the motherfucker who calls the main character Metal Gear.
Oh, that's Zelda. It was like, oh, you mean Lick? Oh,
well, I mean, if you
just dude, what are you talking about?
I mean, if you said Solid, you'd have been real close. I mean, just like,
Solid
Snake. Yeah.
Snake.
I'm like, man, Metal Gear is a badass motherfucker. I'll tell you that. He's out there sneaking and shit.
His gear is so metal.
Well, the name's Pliskin. Iroquois Pliskin.
Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm trying to tell you.
It's like, dude, you literally are just saying Snake Plissken, dude. Just go ahead and say Snake Plissken. I was like, just say it.
Well, Hideo Kojima is a huge cinephile, and all his shit is because the dude really wanted to make movies.
Oh,
right?
no, 100%.
And he set up for making games. Every one of his games has a theme around it, and he'll beat you over the head over it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Escape from New York was very much one of them.
1000%. I passion all.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Blade Runner, Terminator of all things. Anyway, so I'm a Metal Gear fan, so let's move on.
All right. Hey, so real quick, I got some. All right, go ahead. If you're not ready to move on, go ahead.
Oh no! I was actually gonna say, well, because I don't think I doubled back, but yes, Dragon Age, the Veil Guard, that was it's a weird looking game. Because I do agree it does look like Fortnite. Not as like cartoonish, but close enough.
Oh, there's no one coming out. Oh, did I not watch the trailer?
Yeah, the trailer came out for Game. What's it, Game Fest?
Yeah, this
I
was.
thought I did, but when you said that, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause people are bitching about the dude with the horns. That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's so. I saw a lot of people crying DEI because of the main character, which, by the way, the main character is customizable. Oh yeah, no, it was like, look,
Too many niggas.
that's dude. I saw people like putting DEI in the chat over and over again. But the funny thing is, Rook is a customizable character, to my understanding. So Rook can look like whatever the fuck you want. I guess they just chose to have the main character be black by default, or that's just who they made, whatever. I don't know. But under normal circumstances, you customize your character. The Kunari that everybody, I think, was kind of upset about, I don't really understand the hatred there, because the Kunari have changed dramatically over the course of the series, because in Dragon Age Origins, Kunari didn't have horns.
Right. Right. Because there was
yeah.
a graphical limitation on whether to do that, even though they
Right.
were supposed to. Right.
And then I
Too
think
many polygons.
Yeah. And then when Dragon Age 2 came out, it was like, oh, well, they have horns now. That's weird. And it's like, well, they've explained. It's kind of like how Klingons have changed over the years, like in Star Trek. Like the way people think of them today is not what they used to look like.
Klingons?
Yeah, in Star Trek. They didn't always have the forehead. I mean, they had the forehead thing, but the way you probably think of a Klingon today.
Are you saying Klingon?
Wait.
Klingon.
Have I been saying it?
Klingon with the G, right?
Yeah.
Is it Klingon?
Okay. I keep hearing Klingon, and I'm like, man, if I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
No,
I was like,
it's because of the way I
was
say it.
showing. My ASL was showing. I was like, hold the fuck up.
I'm waiting for Ernie to be like, the G is silent in Klingon.
Like
Nah,
lasagna.
like lasagna.
It's kind of like Klingon is kind of like potato to me. I will probably say it a couple of different ways. So
right,
yeah,
right.
it's the same way that like it's like
Wait, am I doing it right? No, am I doing it right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Don't do this. You're throwing up a gang sign there. I can't help you. But no. The funny thing about it though is, yeah, by the time you get to like Dragon Age Inquisition, like yeah, it's even more cemented. Dragon Age Origins was more of a hardcore. It was a tactical game, but I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those games that like if I tried to play it today, I probably would fall the fuck asleep. Dragon Age 2, I didn't. They kind of shifted hard, like right on the combat of the game. They tried to make it more button mashy, but that was actually not the problem with Dragon Age 2. A lot of people tend to point to the gameplay being the problem about Dragon Age 2. The actual problem of Dragon Age 2 was that they reused assets of the game. And let's just be real, not even just assets. They would literally reuse levels you've already visited. Like when you would go do like a side quest, you'd have to go to some particular place. And then like it would just end up being a place you've already visited, but just called something else. It was just, I don't know. To me, it was more boring. To me, the gameplay was the least of Dragon Age 2's problems. By the time you got to Dragon Age 3, they kind of split the difference a little bit. It was still a little button mashy, but like it still had that tactical vibe and was more cemented in it. It was kind of trying to give you the best of both worlds. This game looks like the way that it plays, they've gone back to the dialogue wheel that was in Dragon Age 2 that was also borrowed from Mass Effect. Yeah. They are making the game more punchy. So you're actually kind of playing more of an action game as opposed to an RPG. You can still, kind of like in Dragon Age 2, you can like hit the little thing and like slow down stuff and like, you know, kind of plot out your shit. But like this game kind of seems like whereas Dragon Age Origins was this thing and DA2 was that thing, and then somewhere in the middle is Dragon Age Inquisition, this one kind of seems to be more going in between Inquisition and DA2 is basically what I take away from it. I don't have a problem with it personally. I say I would probably fall asleep playing Dragon Age Origins today because, well, for one, I've beaten that game dozens of times, but also for two, you don't actively attack in Dragon Age Origins. You like select an ability and then that ability is used and then you just do regular attacks in between your main attacks as you know, you might remember, but that is kind of passive gameplay. Well, it is incredibly passive gameplay. And personally, I would rather play a turn-based game than play one where I'm just passively playing. It kind of reminds me of the same criticism people had about Final Fantasy 12. Like, I love Final Fantasy 12, but the Gambit system made it where you could basically set your controller down.
Like mobile AFK games, right?
Yeah.
Just like that. You don't really have to do shit because that makes sense.
Like with Dragon Age, you still had to hit like the button if you wanted to use special abilities and stuff like that. You still wanted to do that, but like your character would just attack. They would just keep attacking, do like a basic attack ever so often, and you would insert a thing here or there, and I
like Dark Souls. You can put your control down. Dark Souls is gonna go to the bathroom or something. Your character will definitely survive.
But no. All that said, I know purists are not going to want to play this. Like DA Origins purists are not going to want to play this. I don't have it in me to
care.
Like, I'm like, look, man, just get like at the end of the day, you know, my whole thing is give me something fucking fun to play. That's all I care about.
That's it.
It was,
I don't like it, I don't like it, but it's not. Yeah.
It's the same reason I said that I would play, like, even before all the Gooner Gate. The little Goon Gate shit and Coomer Gate shit that was going on with Stellar Blade, I was like, I still want to play the game. I don't care about any of this drama or controversy. I just want to play a fun game. I don't really care about the other stuff. Would I have preferred a Dragon Age that skewed a little bit more closer to like Inquisition? Sure. But at the same time, I mean, dude, we know how BioWare is. I'm not gonna I'm not going to sit here. Well, yeah, I mean, but I blame BioWare more than anybody just because BioWare is trash these days.
Are they still using the Frostbite engine by any chance? Because that probably. Then don't buy it. Then don't buy it.
No,
Skip
actually,
it.
I don't think they're using Frost. I don't know if BioWare does, but I could definitely say this much.
LEX1, you know the answer.
Yeah, expecting BioWare to get their act together is like being with a girlfriend who cheats on you constantly and expecting her to one day decide to take you seriously and no longer cheat on you. It's like, this heifer's... Yeah, no, you basically like it's like, look, man, like every time BioWare's gonna look at you like, you knew what this was. You know I'm a hoe. You know I'm a hoe. You know I'm
shut up and
give
me a goddamn tax break,
right? Yeah. But like,
so you said that we're talking about DEI about this shit.
Yes.
I think eventually we're gonna start. They're actually making. I like arguing, right? You know me, and I like talking about the shit. I can talk about certain shit all day, every day.
You should play more multiplayer games and just hang out in lobbies. You would love it.
The thing about this shit here, though, is the people who keep screaming woke and DEI are actually making it boring to talk to them. Because it's like, bro, it's like, it's not just because they keep repeating the same thing. It's because like, oh, you don't know how to do like actual dog whistles. Like it's like dog whistling became an art. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I will have fun calling you out on your dog whistles. But then it's like, nah, we don't do that anymore. Black guy woke. It's like, oh, well, you're just racist. Okay.
So what you're saying is you miss microaggressions?
Well, it was like this.
Bring back microaggressions.
Well, it's like when this game popped up, South of Midnight, and everybody's like, oh, DEI. DI.
Black woman. Cool.
Fuck that
Oh,
shit.
wait.
That game was fire.
Black and a woman?
Oof.
It's woke.
Yeah.
You already know. You already know.
Acting like we don't have a whole ass what's the girl's name that would Tomb Raider. So yeah, Tomb Raider out there. We've had now
no.
beat up a dude. It's woke.
Dude, they called this shit woke. They called this shit woke.
Yeah, the fact that they call Perfect Dark woke is it's blasphemous. That's actually woke.
It's funny because
they don't play video games anyway. So
Hey,
but here's why. But do you know why they're calling it woke?
There's a white woman.
No. It has nothing to do with that. It's people who claim to be fans of the original game, claiming that they made her ugly to be woke.
Yeah, that's right. So
Wait,
woke is
Nintendo 64
black.
version.
Woke is black. Woke is not white, really. And then woke is also I don't want to fuck this character.
Right.
That's woke.
Well, like here's the thing. So this character right here, this character that I got right here, this is like one of the earlier, I think, this was the previous game, because I think they changed her somewhere like on Xbox. Yeah, I think,
Perfect Dark Zero, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I mean,
they complain about that shit too.
Her face is smoother, like in terms of like the art, but I mean, we also got to remember, this is box art from how long ago? And then you look at the fact that this woman, she just looks like an actual woman. That's like, she looks like a woman
and what's funny is
that you would see in the real world.
100%. And by the way, not unattractive. So this is what I like to do sometimes. I'm like, okay, first of all, why the fuck? When are you gonna figure out that the value of another human being?
Mm-hmm.
It should not be based on if they're hot or not, right? So I don't give a fuck if they're hot or not, right? That's not anything. You know when I care if they're hot or not? When I'm going to have sex with them in real life. Like that, am I attracted to the person that I'm dating, that I'm planning to marry, that I'm married to? That's important. I'm not gonna pretend like that's not important to me.
No.
But what the fuck are you tripping about a fake video game character being hot or not? But here's the problem. Even if we just ignore that part, 90% of the dudes couldn't get a girl that's pretty anyway. She's literally pretty.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, and this is the thing, like what Jasmine just said right here, says there was that one game, I don't remember the title. You're thinking about Horizon. You're thinking about Horizon Forbidden West. Where they zoomed in on they zoomed in on Aloy's face and she had peach fuzz. And I said, see, here's the thing. And I don't want to finish what she says. She says here, they saw she had peach fuzz and fine body hair, and as a real woman does, and they called it woke. Here's the thing. So I remember this because I was very much into the conversation on this because Horizon is one of my favorite video game series, and I love Aloy as a character. Like she's awesome. But when I was hearing people talk about this shit, I was like, y'all are focused on the wrong shit. Because I said, if y'all were focused on the right stuff, you would realize
right stuff
that if you were focused on the right thing, though, you would realize that shit's not important. Like, I mean, it is important in terms of visibility and showcasing a woman who actually looks like a real, actual person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a game that's trying to be realistic, I think you should strive for realism in all aspects. But the thing is, all these people told me was that they have never been that close to a woman before.
That's it.
Like,
100%.
I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you have been within at least 5 feet of a woman, you know that just because women don't have like full on fucking beards and shit,
most don't, right?
Women do have body hair just like everybody else.
Yeah, as
like
long
fine
as the
hair,
woman you're
just
with
like everyone
is
else.
a mammal.
Right.
Assuming they're a
right.
mammal. Like
we're making some assumptions here. We're making some assumptions here that this is a mammal. It could be an amphibious pussy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you are in love with your like reptile, then you're right. What the fuck is Peach Fuzz doing on this thing? Because reptiles don't have hair like that. You know,
right? If we were playing Baldur's Gate and like some lizard person rolled up with a
you
peach,
zoomed in and had Peach Fuzz, bitch about that.
I'm like, all right. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think it's time for me to put my red hat on so that I can be a part of the grift.
It's woke.
You know
that's what I would say. I'm like, okay, this shit's woke if the goddamn lizard people got fucking peach fuzz and facial hair and shit. All right.
Yeah, who's the baddie? Who's the baddie on fire? Crow chick. What is her name? Kraken something another. On Baldur's Gate 3, the girl who's on fire.
Shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why am I blanking?
You had the best memory. You're supposed to be recalling.
Yeah,
you
it was
remember that character
Carlac.
from 18 years ago. Carlac.
Carlac. Well, no, I was sitting here like, so when you said Kraken and you crack-a-lackin' and crack-a-crow and shit, I started thinking about, even though I knew you were talking about Baldur's Gate 3, my mind immediately went to X-Men. I was like,
that's what I was thinking. Like,
wait, is he talking about, is he talking about Ascani? Is he talking about?
You start thinking about the Harry
Here's the
Potter.
deal. You're over here wondering why a post-apocalyptic woman has peach fuzz. Every woman has peach fuzz because humans. But but you're not wondering why Carlac's hair doesn't burn up. Like she should be bald. Okay.
Oh,
and
she shouldn't even have clothes. But
right.
right.
What is she wearing? Bet you exactly. How does the clothing work? But here's the deal. If she has hair that can stand the fire, then it shouldn't move like hair. It's obviously made out of something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are the real complaints that you should be having.
Also, it's also kind of wild because why are they complaining? They got two hyper masculine games announced too. You got Doom and fucking Gears of War. Like,
nah, they'll woke that shit up.
No, I want to bring
gay.
Well, I want to present something.
The squad is Dom and Marcus were probably, bunk buddies.
Well, I mean, I want to present something into the evidence pool because, like, so the reason why they keep saying she's that they made her look like a man is because they're pointing at her chin and they're saying that her chin is too masculine.
Oof.
And it's like,
are you telling me women have different shaped faces?
No, that's not true.
Guess. Like, I mean, I was looking at it and I was like, she looks perfectly normal. She looks like a woman. Like, you can kind of see it here a little bit. You can kind of see a little bit of the peach fuzz or whatever, kind of vibe going on there.
All I know is, you know how they have round faces, oval faces, square faces, right? And then depends on what kind of like glasses you should wear and how you should wear your hair, right? All I know is, if you are a square-faced woman, fuck you. I hate you.
God, can you say
I'm cosplaying as a chud right now.
Man, somebody ever like clips
square faces.
Well, the other one that threw me. Did you see the Fable trailer? Because that was the other one people got mad about.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Okay, so
Shorty got dragged,
dude. I was like, man. Okay, so do you? I'm trying to remember the.
You know what?
I'm trying to remember the name of the actress.
I feel bad because this is a woman. This is somebody motion stop. That's somebody.
Okay, so you get where I'm coming from.
Mocap this shit.
That's fucked up.
So like it was this is very likely an actual person. Their face has been captured, their mannerisms, their look, it has been faithfully recreated. They hired, and I want to be perfectly honest when I say this. They hired this person because they very likely fit the model and tone and type and the ability to mocap the things that they want to be mocapped. It's kind of like, it's different than like Christopher Judge, who is the mocap for Kratos, because Kratos doesn't look like Christopher Judge. Like he looks like Kratos. But just when you think about the fact that whenever they actually take someone's actual face, it's because they believe that person has a face that works for what they want to do. And these people are literally out here dragging old girl, and I'm like, first off, she's not ugly. Like she's not ugly.
I put it in the chat. This is the actress playing this girl. Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine saying like, "Wow, I'm gonna be, I got it. This is
bro,
dream come true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in it," and the entire internet is just like, "Look at this ugly bitch! They're fucking ruining my game. She's so fucking ugly,
bro."
Like,
and I'm just like, dude, she is a pretty woman. Like, dude, what is going on here? You know what it is?
Even if she wasn't, she's a human being. These people don't give a fuck. That's so God, dude.
It's like it's dumb. It's dumb on its face because this lets you know these people have never been near an actual woman.
All they do is beat off. Dude. These are the same people. That's why they hate. That's why they think. And this is just let's not. Assuming they're actually not gay or actually not into trans people, the only reason why they only ever associate transness and gayness with porn is because that's the only place they ever see them. They don't know them in real life. They just beat off to them. You know what I mean?
It's not a real person.
Yeah. So then when they think trans is and they say like, "Oh, you're telling my kids they're allowed to be trans?" All they think about is like that time they were beating their shit off to a trans porn. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's
because
the sexual
they're not
component.
real. Yeah, exactly. So to them, women, right? And to link that, what does that have to do with what I'm talking about? Because women, to a lot of these people, are only characters on the porn that they watch because they don't interact with real women daily. They're fucking incels. You know what I mean?
Like you remember those arguments people used to make about how porn can ruin a person's perception of how to view people. That this is what they're talking about.
Yeah,
this is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they didn't do that to me, but yeah, for some people.
well, no, I'm just saying. Like,
in reality.
No.
Hey, let me tell you, if that shit was true, man, I'd be like, I don't know, I'd be hallucinating. Then I guess.
Well, I mean, like, I mean, I'll go and sorry now. I consume a copious amount of porn, but it just.
But here's the difference between you is like. You could consume, but also have real women in our life. It doesn't.
Right.
We can tell fiction, fantasy.
Yeah. I don't feel like I didn't want to be excluded of that because that also that also leads to believe that I'm part of the incel community that don't know how to separate reality from.
No. That's the thing because we interact with women.
Okay.
Right.
So, but you know what I'm saying? This is between me and you, and I'm over here like. Ooh.
I actually had that conversation with Maneater because, like I said before, putting her business out there. I'm like, you know what's weird is that there are dudes there who would be super upset with their lady watching porn.
Yeah,
because I'm not out there fucking like fucking Long Dong Johnson. You know, I don't got a fucking monster can. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
So,
you ain't Lexi and Taylor.
An average, just an average 10 incher. Like I mean,
my you know, like look, barely above 10 inches. You know what I'm saying? You know, but for real, like. The reason why is because they look. What do they always say about this shit? We always talk about like every accusation is a confession. Right?
Yep.
Listen, the reason why they get mad and they feel insecure when their girl watches porn is because that's what they're doing to their girlfriend if they have. You know what I'm saying? They look at porn and go, man, I wish my girlfriend did this. I wish my girlfriend did that. I wish because they can't separate reality and fantasy, right?
Right.
And so when they're you know, they catch their lady watching it, they're like, oh, he's probably doing that to me. They probably wish my shit was like that. No, like I don't care that she's watching, you know, that maybe somebody on the screen has a fucking Four Loko can between their legs. I'm like,
not the Four Loko
fantasy. You know?
Not the Four Loko.
We can both separate fantasy and we can still enjoy each other. Wow, fantasy and reality are not the same thing.
Okay, so we know that the benchmark here is Four Locos can. People, make your deductions from there.
You notice how you always, whenever you're doing this, you always got to go real big because it's like, what? Well, then what is he? What is it? Where is he? Somewhere? Look, somewhere under a Four Loko. You have to. Other than that, mind your fucking business. How about that?
Well,
It's actually a Red. It's actually a Red Bull can, guys.
it's like, damn.
The little travel size.
Oh no, not like this.
All I gotta say is
Those lunch V8s, those lunch V8s that your mom will put in the school lunches, but you throw away.
Damn, the throwaway part is actually damn, imperfect analogy. Anyways, we're still going with this.
I was just gonna say. Oh, go ahead.
No. Look, I don't want you to close this shit up without talking about the Acolyte.
Oh, no. I was just going to read what Elite X1 just said. So I tell you what, I bet a lot of these incels will lose their mind if they ever saw how most of these porn stars look without all the makeup, all the set makeup. And here's the thing. I've actually,
seen those conversations.
Oh, no. I know sex workers, as I think a lot of people probably do nowadays. And, whether you realize it or not, or you accept it or not, whatever, that's on you. But I know sex workers, and I have seen them not dolled up. I know what they look like when they don't, like when they just want to go kick it, and maybe go meet for coffee, or like go hang out at at a mutual's house, or catching them at like some get together or whatever. Well, I mean, just not like in a setting where they have to be on.
Not at work.
Right, not working. And the thing is, it's not to say that they're not pretty. Like, they're still pretty people. They're still beautiful people.
They're just not dolled up, porn star scene, on red carpet. You see that with just regular actors anyway. Like when you see them, like watch when they come out and they're like, this is what insert, normally, pretty woman is
when they
throwing out the trash.
When they called Margot Robbie mid because they called her wild makeup, that was wild.
Oh, like, okay, you don't know. That's it. You don't know what women look like. Period. Dot.
And that all comes back to the unfair beauty standards that have been imposed on women for decades. That's a rabbit hole I'm not willing to go down right now because, well, for one, kind of like a picture I saw on Twitter earlier today where it was talking about how people in the South hate IVF, and it was just a picture of dudes. There was no women in the picture. I feel like it would be that kind of energy. Like, man, the beauty standards here are trash. There are no women here to talk about it. So I
still. You're right. But it is good to let people know. Like, look, we'll stand for real human beings who are women. You know what I mean? We stand up for them, and this bullshit is not tolerated. Now, what I found interesting.
Oh yeah.
So before I do that, let's see how many people are watching right now. On the YouTube side, we got about 120 some odd people. Listen, not too many numbers. Let's see. Let's go 1 through 5. Right. 1 for complete ass water garbage. 5 for this shit was fucking dope. 1 through 5. 1 is garbage. 5 is dope.
Shit was 3.
Just throw in between there.
He's like,
in between? What is the halfway point?
You want me to define every number?
No, just 3. Because the halfway point of that
is 2.5. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Because I feel like I need answers. Go ahead.
This whole thing's fucked up for you because it's an odd number.
No, it's not. It's an odd number. Okay, you said dog water ass cheeks on the first one, right?
Yeah.
And what's the last one?
Really
great,
good.
right? Really good, right?
Yeah.
So between dog water ass cheeks and the halfway point to that is just regular ass cheeks.
Chat. Put a 1 through 5 on what you thought about the Acolyte. That's it. That's all I want.
I just wanted to know what 3 was.
3 is a little bit above average. 2 is a little bit below average, right?
Okay. I'm thinking too later on.
I knew what he was going. I knew what you were going for, Robo. I understood. I understood.
Hey, so we got a 4 Rough Rider 4. Surprising.
Okay.
Wow.
4s. I'm seeing 4s. I'm digging it. While the chat's coming in, I wanted to get that out first, right? Because I know the delay. Now that that's out and chat's coming in, what do y'all give it?
I haven't watched it yet, so I'm gonna give it a 3.
This motherfucker.
NA.
Is that
4.5. Never to December. Okay.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say for me, I think I'm kind of floating on a 4, maybe like a 4.5, maybe like
Okay, I wasn't sure which teeter. Yeah.
So like I could make it like. I will say there is something that could happen on the show. If it does happen, it would drop to like a 3.5 maybe or something like that.
Okay. So I've heard,
number.
and I haven't seen nothing below 3, right? And it's a little bit above average. So
I'm gonna say nothing.
Oh my god.
But I like it. First of all, I like it. It lets me know I'm with my people. So here's the thing. Star Wars is my Goya. Ooh.
Wait, hold
which
on.
one?
I want to hear more about that.
That can go either way.
See, Ruth says Star Wars is my Goya.
Like I said, just a song or you're boycotting it.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe he means like because I love it. And I love it because I love Trump.
Damn.
No, I know what that means. So I sat there and I saw a lot of shit talked about the Acolyte, and some of it, most of it, I was able to discredit and just like I said, the DI conversation is getting boring because they're not good with dog whistles, and it's just black person. I hate black people. I hate gay people. I hate women. Right. And so but then I started seeing like, yeah, I don't care about the racial shit, but this shit was whack. This shit is stupid. This is dumb. They jumped the shark. So I watched it. We watched all 3 in the Discord. That shit was dope as fuck. I was like, it's Star Wars. Nothing was not Star Wars about it. I don't understand what people like. Okay, if we had to like really steel man it a little bit, right? Besides, I'm mad that there were no white men in it, except for the dude who got possessed. How was this not badass? How was this not a dope like Star Wars story? You had Jedis, you had magic, you had the sisters or whatever they're called. The Sisters of Waverly Place, like you had the whole shit.
I think they just called them witches, honestly.
They're witches, but what's the group actually called?
I forget the name of
it. They're like the Night Sisters or some shit.
They're kind of like the Night Sisters, but like different. They're
like,
oh,
it's not them.
It's
in the Star Wars.
Yeah,
in the Star Wars universe, using magic is different from using the Force.
No, they know it's the Force. They just don't believe it. It's like this entity that has good and bad. You know what I feel like? Correct me if I'm wrong. It feels like they're like almost like gray Jedi.
Kind of. Like, or I would even go as far as to say like the way that here, let me scale this up while it's fresh in my head. But no.
Star Wars is Dune, written by monkeys.
I mean, probably.
I mean, I get what they're coming from. It's like simple ass shit.
I mean, well, here's the thing with Star Wars. And I think it's something the sooner that people accept it, the sooner that a lot of people just kind of get over it. This takes place a good little clip before
it's 150 years before episode 1, right?
Right. Like, and it's at a time where like I don't want to say too much because I don't want to mess it up for
No, you can say whatever you want.
No. I'm gonna talk around it. But like, there's a very specific thing that happens in the original trilogy that people are kind of pressed about because it happens in this show, which takes place, over 100 years
but
from
it doesn't though, right?
Yeah.
Because she said, if we're on the same, we're gonna do this talking around thing.
Yeah.
If we're on the same page, old girl says, "What are you gonna do when they find out how you did it?"
Okay, yeah.
Which
it
means
was that part
sentence
too.
three.
Yeah.
That sentence for me was like, "Oh, so this is something different than Anakin." I thought we were looking at some Anakin shit, but that sentence let me know there's a plot twist coming.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. There is.
Mhm.
I think that it's. This is why I said. This is why I said, like, I think when you were wrapping up the third episode, I said there's still 5 episodes left.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna let them cook
We
because
were talking elite spit sometimes, but elite, you been a little silly goose in there. You're trying to. He's at least asking questions. This episode 3, man. Let them do the thing, man.
I was like, we ain't even halfway in. Well, I mean, and I totally get it too, because for me, I know my time is sacrosanct. So I don't have time for a show to take 5 ever to figure itself out.
At least, like, I gotta get to work, man. What's going on here? This shit don't make sense to me.
Like, yeah, I gotta get back to making content. But my whole thing with it is that, like, once and I will say, initially, I thought this was going to be standard fare for Disney Plus, like 6 episodes, which is usually what they do. I looked it up, it said 8 episodes. So I was like, okay, so judging by the way narrative structure usually works with things like this, because it's not really different between other media. Like, whether you're talking about television or comic books or some other kind of serialized storytelling, usually depending on how many parts to a story you have, that dictates when you're going to get the big reveal, if there is one, because we're
It's
talking
Mephisto.
maybe we have 8 episodes, so kind of judging by that, we probably will get something closer to a legitimate answer as to why things are the way they are, probably either in episode 6, maybe the tail end of episode 6, or somewhere in like episode 7, and go from there.
When you look at the whole thing as a story, there's going to be some episodes that would comprise Act 3. And whenever we start getting into Act 3, that's when then, like, oh, damn, that's what we're going to get.
That is, oh, no, that is 100,000% precisely my whole thing here. Like, I'm willing to give them time to cook. I think people are focusing on the wrong shit, honestly. Like, one of the things I kept seeing people talk about was like, oh, the show is so, gay. Oh my God, it's so lame because it's so gay. And I remember thinking about, I was like, I remember when, I think it was the showrunner or one of the writers, someone had said that. And I was like, I think it kind of reminded me of the Sweet Baby Inc. thing that people clipped, where the woman was talking about making people uncomfortable on purpose and stuff like that. It was one of those situations where I was kind of like, I think a lot of what's being said here is being said tongue in cheek. And I mean, yeah, it is kind of gay, because I mean they're giving more queer visibility. But at the same time, I was like, it's not hurting anything. It's not killing anything. No one is lesser for it. No one's story is being put on hold to pursue some kind of an agenda. The only thing I would probably say I think the only thing I would say the show actually, like, if there's any one legitimate criticism about this show, I actually have 2. One is the Killmonger that is here is a little egregious. They need to get rid of it. The Killmonger, like, I'm sorry, that shit's got to go. I'm sorry. The Killmonger needs to be retired. That said, there are, without going into the specifics, there are some acting issues with this. There's some very stilted dialogue, even by Star Wars standards. But the thing is, none of that makes the show any, like, worse. Like, it doesn't make me not enjoy the show. It just makes me roll my eyes sometimes when they say certain shit. Like, there are some line reads in the first couple of episodes that I thought were kind of weak. There were some line reads in the third episode, not as much as the previous 2 episodes, but when the line reads were weak, it was typically because of the children involved in the episode. And I kind of attribute that more to, I don't even attribute any of this to bad acting. I attribute it to bad direction. Or not even bad direction. I think I said this when you were watching it. Star Wars has always had terrible acting in it. Like it's actually to me, I feel it's a staple of the series. I feel like
it kind of lends to that whole like spaghetti western that it's supposed to kind of like
mimic.
Like, you know?
Right. Like it's all like, for me, I think that, they're talking this way because it's Star Wars. It's kind of like when I watch Star Trek, everyone talks a certain way. Even characters who aren't exactly like there's a certain cadence to everything. And I feel like this has it, but it's kind of off a little bit. Like, maybe someone tweaked the slider a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. But yeah, I don't dislike it at all. I don't dislike, like, I just there's a particular thing that I think could happen, and I hope that it does not happen. It's a concern I have that's not too terribly dissimilar from what we talked about with Elite X1, but just for a different reason. For a completely different, I think.
And saying the concern would be a spoiler.
My concern is not so much that there is no villain. My concern is that the villain is going to be something that doesn't make sense. Or they'll do the thing where the villain isn't revealed until like it's super late. And then it's like, well, okay, either y'all were banking on getting a second season or you just didn't know how to do this. Like it's kind of like how oh my god, like it would be like the same thing like when I watch Blue Beetle, and on Blue Beetle, one of the Quotey Fingers villains of the movie, Conrad Carapax, you don't really learn anything about the dude until he's literally at the end of the movie, and spoiler
family
alert, getting ready to expire. And it's like, okay, so now I'm suddenly supposed to care about this guy now because you finally decided to wait until the movie had 15 minutes left to tell me who he was. Okay. I kind of, that is my concern, is that they're going to do a thing where the villain's not going to be revealed, like fully revealed, until like it's so late in the show that I'm like, well, who the fuck is this dude? Who is this supposed to be? Yeah. Like I said, like instead of writing for the season, they're writing for the next season. That's my fear. That's my fear. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you know how this shit is. Like,
so I think there's definitely gonna be a villain, only because of what we've seen so far. But when they show up, who knows? I will say this much: y'all got time. Next week, I want to talk spoilers.
Yes.
But here's something that I want to go back to, and we've already brought it up, right?
Yes.
The reason why these people have these feelings about gay people, trans people, women in general, is because they only experience these people in porn, right?
Right.
And here's case in point: a coven of all women with no men in their ranks are gay, woke, DEI. What is the difference between this and Wonder Woman and the Amazons? I'll tell you the difference.
Oh.
The Amazons are all hot and half naked in their armor. And you know what I mean? Like that's hot. That matches what I need in my porn brain. And now I have no problem with an island full of lesbians.
Well, yeah, because these women are dressed like it's pumpkin spice season. Like, can I get the pumpkin spice? Do you have the pumpkin spice back on the menu?
At least did make a good point with spice is a drug in the deal, and they're over here feeding the kids spice balls.
I mean, the spice must flow. I mean, let it go. I mean, I'm just, I don't have any beef. I don't have any beef with this. I think people just need to calm down. That's what I think. I think people need to calm fuck down. Like this shit is inoffensive as fuck. Like, I will say that the one thing that kind of threw me off is when they were referring to themselves as witches, because you don't really hear that word thrown around a lot in Star Wars. But also at the same time, Jedi are fucking space wizards. They literally all but get called wizards. So, like, the fact that these women were referring to themselves as witches, I was just kind of like, it threw me for a loop at first, but I was like,
Is
whatever.
it a term that's in the extended universe books at all?
Not to.
'Cause I'm not gonna lie. I asked ChatGPT, and they said, and then that's when the Night Sisters got brought up. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so the Night Sisters. I feel like these women were something different. I feel like these were like maybe a precursor. Maybe a precursor to them, but not like the same thing exactly. But I mean, the Night Sisters function in a very similar fashion. You know what I mean? Like it's just that their use of the Force seems more dark than what because these women seemed like I never got the hint at any point that these women had any like, and not to say the Night Sisters are this way, but the way they kind of tried to frame it at first kind of made it seem like, oh, maybe these women maybe they're evil. Maybe they're good. We don't know. Like, they never really leaned one way or the other. At the end of the day, these were just the motherfuckers who want to be left fuck alone. That's what that was.
Right.
But
it seemed like they're like modeled after like druidic people.
100%. 100,000%. 100,000%. I'm fine. I think that honestly, man, I just think people need to
chill the fuck out.
Yeah, because I was telling somebody this on Twitter. I don't know if it's because I'm older now. Yeah, 20-year-old Blerd Without Fear would have lost his shit because I'm like, man, you can't change the canon. This is egregious. That would, I'm not gonna lie, I totally copped to that. That would have been me. But 40-something-year-old Blerd Without Fear is like, I'm like, wait.
Imagine being
now?
me. 43-year-old nerd who has never had that big of an investment in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like let me tell y'all something. If the next movie came out about Star Wars and it was like the lightsaber could then like be as long as they wanted and he was able to like knock out a spaceship out of the sky as it flew by, I'd be like, damn, that's dope. And everybody else would be like, lightsabers shouldn't be able to do that. I'm like, I didn't know that.
It's people already mad about the lightsaber that's on this show, and it hadn't even.
Oh, point that out. Okay, it might be a little bit of a spoiler. I heard something about, I guess, the color doesn't matter all that much. What were they talking about? Like, who had a lightsaber that had a wrong color or some shit?
I know one of the characters had a yellow lightsaber, but I mean, it's not one you commonly see in the movies, but I mean, it's not like a color that no one's had before. Like,
I mean, didn't Mace Windu had a purple one and nobody complained?
Oh no, people complain.
Oh no,
we didn't have the internet the way we have it today, but mark my words, people complained.
There's a canon comic with a lightsaber rifle. Oh
yeah. I was about to say, dude, okay, first off, I remember...
Like a lightsaber bayonet?
I believe...
Is it like a lightsaber bayonet type thing? Like, is a laser
like
rifle
like,
and there's
it's on it?
Yeah.
I honestly don't... I don't recollect it off the top of my head. I just know that when I was watching Star Wars Rebels... And because I like, once again, I want to make sure I'm clear when I say this. This shit was probably on Clone Wars. I did not watch Clone Wars like that. But when Star Wars Rebels came out and I saw the Inquisitors had the fucking lightsaber that spun, I remember the first time I saw that shit and I was like, at first I was like, this is kind of dumb.
Spun?
And then like, yeah, okay, so
you
basically
like General Grievous?
Kind of like basically what it is like it had like a kind of rotator on it so they could literally just hold the lightsaber out directly in front of them straight up and it would spin like a fucking helicopter blade.
Okay.
That's kind of like
it was because it was a double-sided. It was one that it could be a single blade or it could be a double-sider and they could but
could they fly away with it?
Well, that's okay, so that's what I was about to get to. Eventually, I got over that part. I was like, actually, that's kind of cool, actually. Because I started seeing how they were using it. They were using it in a very unique way. So I was like, okay, you know what? After like I think 3 or 4 whatever episodes, I was like, all right, I kind of like this shit. But then like there was one episode where they leapt off of something and they didn't I don't think they flew, but they glided down like they were on a parachute and they held over the heads like whoop, 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 and they like jumped down to like and they were like come down like they would like slow fall down.
That
And I was
doesn't make
like
any sense.
well, you know, because you know what I did in my head? I just remixed it real quick. I was like, you know what? Maybe they're just holding it over their head. I know this isn't the case, but I'm just saying maybe they're holding it over their head so they can look cool. And they're just using the force to slow
I got
fall.
it. You ready? So, I heard that the way I don't know if this is confirmed or if this is just headcanon for people, but the reason why a beam of light can stop at the end is because of their of the force. Right, and the reason why it doesn't just shoot out like a flashlight, is because the force can stop it that way. Okay,
Yeah.
But what if the force can then also change the shape of it? Because if it was flat,
Right.
then I could see it spinning and creating lift.
I feel like you guys are putting more thought into this.
Well,
I feel like you guys are putting more thought into this than the actual writers.
No, I'm
Yeah.
certain. I'm certain. And Jasmine said that was another one I forgot. Ezra's lightsaber, his original lightsaber, it actually doubled as a blaster. Like, cause it was basically a blaster that had a lightsaber coming out of it.
Hey, look.
Out of the top.
If it didn't happen in episode 4, 5, and 6, it's blasphemy, and I will kill
yeah.
myself if anything else bad happens.
Oh yeah, no, like it like I said, I feel like those motherfuckers would roll up with people helicopter style. No, that's what they would do.
Yeah.
They would literally it'd be like they come down, be like, ooh, slow fall. Done, and that would be it. I like
You know, some kids probably thought that shit was cool as fuck.
Fire in space. I heard about that. Fire in space.
Yeah.
People got really mad about that.
I will say this.
Have you not seen the explosions that happen in space? Come on now.
Bro,
I mean-
I got mad as fucking the second. Well, is it the second Ray movie? Which one was it? So it's
Ray movie?
yeah, the last trilogy. I call.
Oh, the
yeah.
Last Jedi trilogy.
You mean like the
Yeah,
sequel
yeah.
trilogy? Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yeah. So in the second movie, they drop bombs in space like a bomber, and the bombs.
Oh, right, and they go. Yeah.
They fell,
Yeah.
and I'm like, there was like no proportions, like
But that's easy
proportions
because
and-
you could just imagine that this is. I remember that argument, and what I
Yeah.
said was the carriers, right? Because if you don't have friction, it's always going to go in the same direction. So the carriers that are holding the bomb, you would just need a mechanism that goes like pushes down. When they
Yeah,
drop
like
it.
just yeah.
and it's gonna throw them. It's gonna throw them straight down.
It
That's
basically
what
like
I.
shit
That's what I
about.
said. Yeah.
I mean, here I will say is we got a $2 super chat here from Bone Factory. 80 shopping days until the Bell riots.
Oh wait, well, I don't know
Wait,
what
is
that is.
that-
I thought it was another. That was an Elden Ring reference.
Bell riots.
I was that like
Memory Alpha. The Bell riots were a pivotal series of events on Earth that took place in September 2024. Started in San Francisco Sanctuary
Oh, I think they're
Memory
talking about
Alpha?
Strange New Worlds.
District. Memory Alpha.
That's Star Trek.
No.
Memory Alpha is the wiki for Star Trek.
Oh,
All things Star Trek. It took me a minute to realize whether. Yeah, so basically they're gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's Star Trek.
It's an event in Star Trek
Yes.
lore. Got it.
Yes. Because season 3, I think season 3 of I think season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds is supposed to be out sometime next year. Or thought maybe, or maybe it might be more than that. I don't know. Or maybe it might be less. I don't know. But I think maybe that's what they're talking. The Star Trek Strange New Worlds, probably, maybe, possibly.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Mhm.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. CE Ruse. Why not just use the Force to fly? Why heli lightsaber? I promise you, before I die, at this point, and I'm here for it, by the way. I think they just do shit and like what's gonna cause the biggest meltdown? we're gonna get a Jedi who has figured it out. We already got the bringing back to life shit and healing.
Yes. Yes.
Right? One of these motherfuckers is
feed
gonna
him on
fly,
time.
like straight up fucking Matrix, Neo, Superman fly.
Laws of physics,
Oh!
go past the speed of light type shit.
Wait a minute. Okay, so you want to hear some? You want to hear something wild? I just realized I finally realized was Nerd Large put me on. I actually wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking about it that way until just now. But yes,
What?
the Bell riots. Yeah, I was thinking about like something that was going to happen in like Strange New Worlds because they always jump back and forward. But yeah, in timeline, the Bell riots actually happened in 2024. In Star
Right.
Trek.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like in the lore,
it
something's
it
about
was
to come
it was
up.
something my head didn't like put it all. I was thinking about Strange New Worlds. I get to watch a Zionist lead my ship. It'll be great.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm sad about it, but no. But you know what makes me happier is Cosmic Red Hood. With the 4.99 says red. These are actually two. Well, I haven't gotten to Sakamoto Days yet, but Kagurabachi. That is one I started reading a little while ago. It is fucking fire.
It's on my list.
Yeah, Kagurabachi is not what you like. It was not what I thought it was going to be. Like when I opened it up, like it kind of seemed like it was going to be like a. I don't even really want to say what it is because I feel like you should go into it kind of cold. But like basically, I thought it was going to be just a straightforward ass thing, and it's like it is not.
It's a Shonen Jump, so I'm here for it.
Yeah. It's like, and it's also I will say. If you have not done so yet, if any of y'all are reading on the Shonen Jump app, there's a manga I do highly recommend. I've talked about it before, but I'm gonna talk about it again. Is Dog's Red, which I think is supposed to be technically Dog Sled, but you know how there's no L in the Japanese language traditionally. But it's about a figure skater who is way too fucking aggressive. And gets kicked out of the ice skating competition circuit or whatever, and he ends up finding his place on in hockey. He ends up applying his world-class figure skating to the game of hockey. It's actually pretty cool. Because he doesn't know anything about hockey. It's not like one of those where like, oh well, yeah, he knows how to play hockey already. It's like no, he's never played hockey. So he's having to learn as he's going. It's pretty cool to see how he grows. He's a weird character. I don't normally like anime characters, manga characters like him, but I'm getting along. But also shout out to Lava Lamps. Which man, that took me back to my Spencer's Gifts days. Oh man, you used to have to sell those things all the fucking time. Fucking hated it. Especially because oh man, I probably still have one somewhere. Maybe. I don't know.
Spencer's Gift. Such a weird place. You can buy Funko Pops and anal beads in one stop.
wait. So Tanya Hardy meets Happy Gilmore. Kind of. It's not so much that he hurts anybody, it's that he causes a scene and gets really disruptive. And it's weird too, because it's like there was really no good reason for him to do what he did. But you know how Japanese society is. So he was very rude in public. But anyway, that said, I think do we have anything else? I don't know. Do we have anything else? More? Oh, go ahead. Shoot.
No,
I had a hard ass ADHD moment there because I saw a little thing come up and it was the fast guy on The Boys.
Oh, A-Train. Yeah.
A-Train meeting the kid at the hospital.
Oh, in season one,
I had to watch. So that's not. Oh, that is from season one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's from season one.
They were talking about huh? No, because he was saying about how he had his wish list, but he didn't want to meet him. He wanted to meet the other dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Translucent, yeah. So I was watching that, and so sometimes if I bite off too hard, I'll be like, I'm pretending to hear.
Oh No, no.
And then sometimes somebody will ask me a question like, right? What do you think? You're like, True.
You see, you see, what you do? Push the table over and take off running.
And the person's like, I was talking about how my grandma died. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's true that it's sad. Yeah, I know.
Look,
I'm with you, brother.
Show is, but no.
Throw a chair. Like in real life. That's it. Like, dude, and then all of a sudden I'm like, break them out and run out.
I'm back to turn off the computer.
Well, no, that's what I always think about. I like it. It sounds, yeah. I know we're not supposed to like him right now, but it's the thing I always think of. I always think back to the Black Bush segment on the Chappelle show, where he just knocks over the water pitcher and like just takes off running.
Yeah.
That's what I always think about. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I thought you were gonna say where it was like, why is always a brother that's gonna ask me the stupid ass question? Like I picked you thinking you're gonna ask me a real question. You just gonna ask me some dumb shit like that.
He's like, oil? What you talking about oil for, bitch? You cooking? It's like I don't know. That's actually to this day still.
I mean, it's not funny.
No, it's not funny. Not funny at all. Not funny at all.
He's never
No, that's
funny.
why it's sad, because he was funny as fuck.
Yeah, no, like,
and he still is just being dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
yeah.
When Dave Chappelle can be bothered to tell a joke, he can actually be quite funny. He can actually be quite fucking hilarious. But the thing, like, you know what it was, and I'll say this, and then we can move towards getting the fuck out of here. There was a comedian, I don't remember her name, and it's kind of killing me that I don't. But I was watching the segment on Majority Report, and they were talking about how, like, see, you can make jokes about the LGBTQ if it's actually something fucking funny.
If it's funny, yeah.
And it was, I don't know if you probably saw this one, Robo, so you might know what I'm talking about, but it was basically this comedian, this black woman, she was talking about how she went out on a date with a trans man. And yeah. Okay, so you know exactly where I'm going with this. And
Simone?
And basically, I'm not gonna even try and retell the joke because I'm not that fucking funny.
Talking about like, yes, she supports it. She didn't give a fuck about that,
right?
But then he wanted to split. Then he wanted to split the bill.
Yeah, he wanted. Yeah. And it was like talking about, bitch. Can we do this again? And she was like, nah. And he was like, oh, well, you must have something against trans people.
Nah, I thought it gets broke people.
and she was like, you should have transitioned into a rich man. I don't know what you did. I was like, that's right. I was like, dude, that shit was fucking funny. I was like, dude, I was like, and I said, here's the thing. There was nothing mean. There was nothing mean-spirited about it. She didn't. She wasn't being disparaging. She didn't spend like an hour and a half holding her her audience hostage, to hear her TED talk.
Culture war bullshit,
right? Like no,
and she could be transphobic. You wouldn't even know because she wasn't engaging in culture war. She was telling a joke, right?
Right. And that's the thing. There's a difference between the punchline being "I hate trans people." And the punchline being, "Nah, I don't hate trans people. You just a broke bitch." And I don't like broke motherfuckers.
Transition to a rich man. I died.
Right, dude. I fell the fuck out. I literally fell the fuck out when I saw because I was like, I wasn't ready for it. But there's
also no possible comeback for that shit. Somebody hits you with that, you just gotta pay the bill and leave.
Right? Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm not gonna lie. If I was in that trans person's shoes, I would have been like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for it. You go ahead and go. You just go ahead and go.
Get your own Uber, but I'm paying for this.
Yeah, but well, and but no, as Jasmine just said, she wasn't promoting violence against trans people or anything like that. It wasn't trying to
Harmful
demean
stereotypes.
Yeah, it wasn't promoting stereotypes. It wasn't trying to demean anyone's existence. It's the same way that like case in point, Bill Burr has told some jokes, not necessarily exactly about black people, but kind of like in and around black people. And I laugh at those motherfuckers.
He's done some black people be like, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
He's talking about his girlfriend. Or his wife now.
I think the one that sticks out to me is one where he's talking about lotion, talking about how man, you see her, she's like slather all that shit all over herself, and he's making fun of black people using lotion.
It's like white people. You guys ever figure out why you guys look like this, but your dick looks brand new? That's the one he used.
Right? Yeah. But it's like it's different when the joke isn't like, man, black people, they're fucking they're ignorant, right? Like, oh my God, aren't they so fucking lazy? Oh my God, dude, they're such thugs.
Women be shopping.
Right?
Here's a trick how they always. Here's a trick how they make those joke work. They always started when I was like, watch, they're gonna try to cancel me for this one. Black people, am I right?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, no,
they're not gonna cancel me for that shit. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It reminds me. It reminds me of that. There was a short you did a ways back that had me laughing my ass off. It was supposed to be like the alpha male type of podcast, but it was like fucking Naruto.
Naruto, yeah.
It was like they about to cancel me for this shit. But man, fuck the Muchiyas, or some shit like that. Or no, I was like, Donzo was right.
That's what I make no great again.
And I was like, oh man, because it was hilarious to me. I thought it was funny.
Thank you.
But
like the sky people.
please do. And it's like, but at the end of the day, yeah, you can tell. I know we always kind of default to because I always think about it too, like the whole Key and Peele skit where it's like, me next, whatever, because everybody can catch a joke, everybody can get these roasts. The thing is, there's a difference between telling a joke that's rooted in racism and its punchline is just to be racist, and just being funny. Like you can it can be done.
Women not at me.
Yeah, you can tell jokes about just about any group of people, so long as it doesn't come from a place of ugliness. Honestly, I don't really think there's any group that's just absolutely positively. I mean, I would say there's some right now that I wouldn't joke about, but if I were a professional comedian, which I am not, I wouldn't make jokes about Palestinians or anything like that right now in this day and age. And I wouldn't be too quick to make jokes about pregnant women either at this particular point in time right now either. But I would think that there's still lots of things that you can talk about, you can commentate on, so long as you're not just giving an hour-long TED talk about why you hate that group of people. That's really what it comes down to.
Unless they're shitting on judges.
Yeah,
but those are not humans.
They're not people. So I, as you were talking, and one came up on Threads. What's an NFT? NFT is they're beanie babies for dudes who get mad when there's a black woman in Star Wars.
See, I like that. That's a good one. That's a fucking good one. I like that. That's actually a legitimately good joke. But that said, I guess we
ended on a positive note.
We did actually. And you know what? I say here, where's my pool stick? I'm gonna break it and then throw one half of it on the ground and let you figure out who's gonna carry us out, because I think I did it the last 2 times.
Yeah, look, thank you all for being here. And
that's the end of that discussion. Okay, go on, King.
It's called initiative. Look, and I rolled a natural 20.
I was taught to respect my elders. Go ahead. Go on, King.
So here's the deal. Thank you all for being here. Blerd Without Fear. You already know who he is because you're here. I'm Left Face TV, and this is Just Chris Cypher. Check out Just Chris Cypher, Cypher World, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna be doing some shit.
Lex, one, say something quick before you leave.
Left face on the YouTube, Left Face TV everywhere else. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Well, y'all know what time it is. We'll be back. Same NOC time, same NOC channel next week. And you know what? For Cypher of Just Chris Cypher, for Robo of Left Face TV, I am the Blerd without fear. And you know what? Ooh, I got one for you. This might throw some people off. And Hunter Biden, you can go to jail too.